Microphone check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the Everybody Eats Story Time Tuesdays. Uh you're welcome. Let's see. Let me copy the stuff. What's happening, everybody that's in here? Just pasting the links, making sure that we're all in here. Hola, Molcita, ¿cómo tú estás? ¿Cómo estamos? Yeah, we are in the building, yo, for real, bro. This is story time. Let me tell you, I'm make people fall in love tonight, man. I'm telling you, it's 1,000-year love story. I'm trying to make a movie of this. I'm trying to sell this story. We gonna get into it though. Just give me a second here. Y'all bear with me. Night. Let me get this let me get my link to my YouTube going so people can link on Facebook. Hold on. Whoa. Okay, so that works. Yeah, I'm starting a little bit behind. It's all good though. It's my podcast. The hell I want to. Don't you ever tell me what to do with my damn podcast again. Ever. I love it though. Yeah, I gotta be honest. I gotta be punctual. You know what I'm saying? People be looking forward to me and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I can't afford to be late. So yeah. But I'm here though. And I'm looking well, living large, still buff, still swole, still got my no steroids, no supplements. I don't supplement. I'm telling y'all, man, if y'all never do anything else, you never listen to anything else I ever tell y'all, man, eat y'all fruits and vegetables, man. Fruits, bro. I make a shake every morning. I fast and I drink a shake. It consists of like celery and blueberries and raspberries and blackberries and strawberries. And that's where I get my sugars from. And every come on, man, a homemade chocolate chip cookie don't hurt nobody. That's like my, everybody got to have their thing. That's my thing. So, uh, that being said, um, yeah, that's my whole thing, right? And yeah, man, can you imagine? I eat one solid meal, and and then I have like a shake, and then I don't eat anything after that. And I've been in better shape now, almost 50 goddamn years of age. You know what I'm saying? Trying to what you call than I ever been. I was one of those bulk up, I got to bulk up guys. You know what I'm saying? I was one of them, eat 5, 6 meals a day to bulk up. That's a whole lot of work. Listen, I mean, I looked fantastic then. I was in great shape then, but I mean, I was real big and I was thick and I was chunky and just massive because I was just eating a whole lot. But I like being like this. I like being lean and ripped and shredded and it all healthy. I supplemented back in the day. Like I said, the one supplement that I swore by was it was that Muscle Tech by Nitro Tech Whey. It was that Nitro Tech Whey by Muscle Tech. I mean, I said it backwards, but that's what it is. Nitro Tech Whey by Muscle Tech. And hey, man, that shit worked, bro. But I don't like when they start when your body starts relying on those things for the essential proteins and stuff you need. Then it's like then your body gets retarded and acts like it doesn't know how to get it naturally. So yeah, man, I'm in this motherfucker. You feel me? What's up, Keyshawn? What's good? Michael, I see you, baby. So we're waiting for everybody else. Oh, hold up, man. My Instagram people is hitting there messaging me, trying to find out where I'm at. I'm here. I'm in the building, y'all. I'm in the building, y'all. Hold up. Let me get my IG people. I mean, these are the people that really the reason why I do this, because they man, my IG fans, man, they are the realest. And I love them to death. And I love all y'all. Don't hey, listen, I love all y'all. I'm not even doing it for fans. I'm just doing it because I love doing what I do. And I just love that y'all love what I do. I don't even know why y'all love me. I mean, I ain't nobody. I'm not anything special. I'm just me. All right, let me get this thing going like this so that my IG people can see what's going on. All right, my IG people. Okay. All right. So my IG people are on and live. We are live. I'm waiting for my partner to get in here. You know what I'm saying? What up, Chris? What's goody, baby? You know what I'm saying? It's good to have everybody in here. All right. So what are we doing, you ask? I'm glad you asked that. So y'all know that what I'm talking about here. And can everybody hear me? Let me know if you can hear me or not. I believe I'm loud enough, but just let me know if you can hear me. Okay, cool. Because I'm pretty good in my ears. Surround sound, surround. Okay, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, we are live and we are good up in here. Got some beautiful people in the building, yo. I feel special. So, what am I talking about here? I'm talking about this story called Look for Me. See that there? Can y'all see that? It's a little bit of a glare there. Let me let me cut this light on. And then let me kind of dim it down for some of that appeal. Look for Me. And the story is a 1,000-year love story. I'm not going to go all the way back through it. If you are interested, if anybody has missed any of these segments, do go to my YouTube channel. Matter of fact, let me click the YouTube channel link in the description, in the comments here. Do feel free to go to my page and click that link and go to my YouTube page, and you can go back and watch the replays. It'll be on my. So if you go to my page, I have videos, and then I have live. Click the live, and you'll see all these lives. It'll be all my podcast stuff. You'll see the lives, and you can see the story time stuff, and you can catch up. But I'm going to brief you on what's going on. So basically, it's a 1,000-year love story, and right now we've already lost. We've loved and lost. I'm just going to say, and we have reached America. It started out in America, 2008, Canyon Lake, Texas. Then it jumped several thousand years back to the year 1014 in Ireland, and the story went from Ireland, hardships in Ireland. There he is, and we're in the building. What's up?
Hey, I'm just, it's crazy, man, because I was tuned in and it turns out I was looking at an old episode. You were talking to me, I was answering, but you weren't, it didn't make any sense. And then I realized that wasn't the correct date. So, I mean, I really went time tripping here just a few minutes ago, Mo. It was wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you might have went back into one of our episodes of one of our 1,000-year episodes. You're probably still back at 1014. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to use the E. So how do I pronounce it? Kayshawn, Kushan. I'm gonna call you T. TT. With a T in your middle name. TT. All right. We're gonna go TT. This is my girl from Jersey, man. Tuning in, showing love. You know what I'm saying? With her little fine ass, little chocolate, something or other. I mean, watch out, man, because you know what I'm saying. I me in the streets here. It's bad enough. I'm going through enough junk already as it is. Okay. So the love story. We are ended up in America, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all I'm going to tell you. If you want to know, like I said, what's going on, feel free to click the link in the comments down below and go to the YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can catch up on all the stories that I tell. And I tell a lot of them. So, okay, cool. So I've got Mr. Guest in the building. How you doing, Mr. Guest? What's going on?
Yeah, it's been a wild day. I've been doing, you know what taping and floating is with sheetrock?
Yes.
Have you played that game?
I've been playing that game all week.
That, you know, that job, that's no. So yeah,
if you do it right, and you get a good couple coats of paint, and you never knew you were there.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you know, my goal is to make it look good, but you know, if you don't mix it up the right consistency, it drops all over the place. Then you step in it, then you get it on your hands, then it's on your shirt, then it's everywhere. You know, so yeah, I'm glad to be here because that's done, that's cleaned up, and one thing I wanted to mention, I don't know if you said it tonight or not, but if anybody wants to buy these books, they write to thenovelist@yahoo.com and engage in a conversation. And $10 on a set. With a set is $50. $10 goes to the Everybody Eats podcast. So
which goes to the filming of the Creep Tales, which,
so
by the way, you're wearing. You want to show them the hat and the shirt you got going on? You got kind of a bit of advertising going on, some merch happening.
Here, check that out.
Look at that. Oh, I kind of like that little silhouette thing you had with your face, and then it said Creep Tales on your hat. You kind of had that. It was a dark and stormy night.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we're coming up on Halloween, and the very first episode in the Creep Tales series, which hadn't been filmed yet, takes place on Halloween, where a guy is trying to get lucky with his girlfriend.
Yeah,
but she's not having it. So she says, "Look, we need to go to the convenience store. I need to go to the bathroom." Well, when he gets over there, she doesn't immediately go to the bathroom. She starts flirting with the clerk. And so, he's saying, this is baloney. She lied about wanting to go to the bathroom. Well, while he's out there in the parking lot, this guy comes up to him. This old Spanish guy comes up to him and explains to him that if you want to get lucky with the girls, you got to cut the tail off of a live rattlesnake and put it on your pocket, not in your pocket, on your pocket. And then the ladies will do anything you want. Now, that's based upon a true story that was told to me by a guy who one of his old Spanish friends said, "Hey, that's how you do it. You got to cut the tail off of a live rattlesnake."
That's crazy.
Anyway, I won't tell you any more about that story, but it gets twisted.
Okay. Well, and so I'm looking forward to shooting those start to finish. I understand that there's been some stuff already shot. Yeah, that has nothing to do with #team footage. Start to finish, consistent work. I'm looking forward to it. Alicia, hey, what's going on, girl? So, yeah, man, we are in the building. Wait, I didn't get a response on that. We don't want team footage to shoot that? You direct and produce.
Are you saying that I'm not showing you any love? Absolutely. Team footage is going to take it to a new level.
I want to shoot it. I want to add the effects. I want to make it scary. And they're going to be Tales from the Crypt is like a Saturday afternoon cartoon.
I love the talent that you put into your editing. It's really brilliant what you've done.
My friends don't, though, because I don't shoot in 4K. A lot of movies aren't shot in 4K, by the way. I mean, it's nice. It's good to look at, for, documentaries and stuff and videos and live and podcasts and stuff. 4K is good, but you want that grungy, real to life, down to earth feel. You stick with full HD. 1080p is good. That's good enough. Some people still shoot in 720. I don't know who does that now, but there's still some that do. Anyway, yeah, my friends don't fuck with me. All my work goes to people that shoot 4K cameras because everybody rides, whatever's trending. It's the trend. It's not about consistency or loyalty or any of that anymore. It's what's happening and who's got it happening, and that's who we go to. So
well, and then here, Mo, this is an excellent point. It's not about the equipment that you can scrounge up. It's about the quality of your story, the talent of your actors, and the talent of your crew.
Yeah.
So you can shoot it on an old Super 8 movie camera.
Yeah, that's why they call it movie magic. It's all in post, but a lot of people don't appreciate that. They want what's happening, and that's the era that we live in. And by the way, to change subjects, there was a discussion I was in. It's not posted because I wasn't going to post it because I'm not trying to be one of those guys, but I'll have the discussion. So the question was, how do I know? How can I prove that God is real? I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. I think religion is man-made. We can talk about that another time. And tune in for that because this is the podcast where we gonna talk about it. You see the flyer. Anyway, how do I know that God exists? The long story or the short story? I'll give you the short story. A couple things. Doug, we talked about it last night. 2 reasons, 2 absolute reasons. And then the third is subjective, but 2 absolute reasons. When we are born, we come from somewhere, and I'm talking more than our mom's vaginas and in her womb. And then when we die, we go somewhere. Those two absolute facts. Debate me on it, however, which way you want to slice it. So that's two. The third one is parenting. I look at how I parent to my children based on something. I wasn't taught how to be a parent, and parents weren't my strong subject growing up. I just, parents weren't, you know, people that know me growing up know that parents wasn't something I really had. I had people around. You know who you are, and were you really around, and were you not around? You know the story. Anyways, so that's just my take on how. And then if you want to go, there's all this discovery that science and NASA discovering ice and water in our atmosphere above the earth and water below the earth and stuff like that. And if you want to go religious, in Genesis, it says there were waters that separate the firmament, and then the waters beneath that, and the waters that separated the heavens and skies and all that. So my whole thing, and this came from the flat earther, by the way, so I can explain that. The flat earther theory. Listen, my whole idea on all that is, who gives a fuck? Like, why do we care if the earth's flat? If the earth's flat, what? Is somebody going to go out there, a construction team go out there and make it round because it's supposed to be round? What are you going to do? You're not going to do anything about it. You're just going to live your ass on a flat earth. If the earth is round, which most people think anyways, okay, so what? Are we all going to get paid? Is the government going to pay out $100 million to each person because the earth is round? What happens? And why do we give a shit? Why do we care? And Doug, I see you swelling with ideas, and I'm going to let you have the floor in just a moment. So, and feel free to comment if you have anything. Yeah, D White, hit the link to get in, just right here. I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Get on in here. Because I know you're swelling with anticipation. Click this link just now. I just pulled it. Just click it. Click that link right there, D White. Open it in your browser. If you have trouble, you should be able to log in. So conspiracy or not, whatever you believe, right? All I hear when I hear people arguing about the waters that they're discovering in space above the earth and the waters that separate the firmament and all this and that, all it says is that this book that was written thousands of years ago might have some truth to it. Maybe it proves God. Maybe this whole thing is not a hoax. Maybe it really is real. I'll let y'all decide and argue that. Doug, take the floor. Your thoughts.
Well, I don't want to really get into this subject a whole lot, but I will tell you this. You can prove to yourself, especially since we live in South Texas, that the earth is round. And here's how you do it. You go outside the city. You got to get where you can see the distance. Go out on a hot Texas summer day when you got these big puffy clouds. You've seen them. They're scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
Those clouds are sitting on a pressure layer. Okay. So above your head, there's so many feet above you, maybe 5,000 feet.
Okay.
That pressure layer continues around the earth. And if you stare at those clouds, you'll notice in a distance, they look like they're lower and lower and lower to the horizon. They'll actually touch the horizon. Those clouds are 5,000 feet off of the surface on the horizon. So if you look at the clouds, you can physically see that the earth is curving down away from you. Think about that. It's not flat. If it was flat, those clouds would be level all the way as far as you could see. But what you're looking at is clouds get closer and closer and closer to the ground. Now, if you drive over there, those clouds are going to be 5,000 feet above your head. You're not going to drive and run into the cloud. So that's a way that you can prove to yourself scientifically that the earth is round. It's not flat. Now, whether that matters or not, I don't know. I'm anxious to hear the next chapter and look for me.
Yeah. Why do we care? Like, seriously, like, so is there some, so let's just discover that the earth, like we said, is round. Okay. For argument's sake. Devin, check your Facebook message. What? Can we finally go on living and shut the hell up about it finally once and for all? Or if the earth is flat, are they going to throw a hole in your face party? And at that point, I'm just there for the cake. I don't give a shit. Who invited you? I was here for the cake. I heard it was a party. I came down here. The earth is flat. I don't give a shit. Like, seriously, who gives a fuck? Like, the things that we argue about. You know what I want to argue about? Why aren't we arguing about not arguing about racism, like ending it, letting it be something that's done. Okay, we've been here now. Black people have been here. Hispanic people have been here. Everybody has been here. We're here.
We've talked about it.
We talked about it.
We actually, I think, started making some progress, and then for some reason now we're going backwards.
We're going backwards. We fought about it. People have lost lives over it. I'm okay. It's established already. Like, why? Why? It's already established. It's a discussion that's done. It's over with. What? Can we move on? I hate this same old discussion. I hate that. Oh, we got D Smooth in the building. What's up, D Dangler? Okay, we're gonna need to see your. We're gonna need to see your face, bro. That's how this works.
I know. I'm driving right now. So
of course you are. Of
Sorry.
course you are.
Hey, when you understand how it is to own your own business, man. You work all times through the night, man.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but, I owned my own business so I could get out of working, and I ended up working
more.
Ain't that the truth, bro? You're like, I'm my own boss. I can go whenever I want to.
I was in it for, I was promised residual income and somewhere over in Bora Bora on the beach, butt naked with a virgin Mai Tai. And I didn't know.
Don't give up that idea, no.
Hey, my boss is a butthole. He works me from morning to dark, man. So I know, I swear.
I know, right? Okay, what were you saying? What are your thoughts, D Dangler?
Well, I mean, I think we talked about this too, Mo. I mean, a while ago. But, you know, if you don't believe in God, I mean, and the world is flat and all that other stuff like that, it's like, then how do you explain the fact that you know, we have monkeys and we have humans, and if we came from monkeys, and monkeys are just humans, so you mean to tell me that in another 1,000 years or 100,000 years that the monkeys that are in the wild now are going to turn to humans? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just don't make any sense.
Why aren't they still turning? Why aren't they still becoming humans?
You know,
let me jump in on that one, because that's a great comment. If we came from monkeys, then monkeys wouldn't exist today.
Well,
if we evolved from monkeys, then they're gone. So that's baloney. Well, we're not from monkeys.
Or to add to that, if we did come from there, are our source, why aren't they still making humans?
Yeah.
Why are monkeys make baby monkeys? From what I remember, I don't remember I don't remember them making baby humans.
Yeah.
Or are we still believing in the stork? Remember, there's that story too. Remember, a man and a woman fall in love, because what's the purpose of that if the stork is going to bring the fucking baby any goddamn way?
Yeah.
But did you fuck the stork? So he's cheating on his wife for the stork?
I mean, they did come up with monkeypox, and we catch it as humans, so, you know, maybe that's where it comes from.
Everything comes from monkeys, and everything comes from Africa. You notice that shit? Yeah. Everything comes from Africa. Oh, but slaves didn't come from Africa.
Don't forget. We got the COVID from bats.
Yeah, the COVID from bats. You know, it just all this crap, man. You know, people are eating bat stuff.
Nothing originates from America. You know, nothing's made here. Not even our clothing anymore.
How dare you? This is America.
Americans aren't even made here anymore. I mean,
we're not even made here. How dare you? Americans come from other. Go, Doug.
The COVID was developed in a level 4 bioweapons lab here in the United States. And when that was shut down, it was shipped to the Wuhan lab in China. So we made the virus. Well, that's a whole other subject, but there's a lot of data to prove that.
You might have some men in some dark colored suits and glasses with flashing things at your door, and they ain't coming to bring you cake and cookies. Right? Trick or treat. Ain't none of that, Doug Kirk. You might want to settle down. Look, they're wrestling. I just say, listen, we're talking about God here, man. Calm down, man. Listen, and Will Smith knocking at your door. he ain't coming to slap you. He ain't coming to slap you. You just flashy thing me.
That was a tough one. I had to tase the guy, man.
Good grief.
What do you do? What do you do with an agent that's laying on your floor?
Hey, just deny, like they do. Mr. Anderson, somebody come talking to you like that. You in some shit, bro. We missed you. Yeah, nah, man, you don't know me like that, and I don't owe nobody shit. And if you think I owe you taxes for this LLC company that I got, I don't make no money because nobody supports me. Yeah, all these people I know, and 2 people support me. You know how many people I know? So the tax people talking about the Texas Controller Office hit me up all the time. Hey, we need to know how much money you made. Why don't you ask my supportive fucking audience? Why don't you ask my supportive friends, the people that say, hey, that's my family, I'm down with them. Ask them, Devin. Tell them, Doug.
Yeah.
How come I can count all my supporters on one hand?
I'm waiting on that call myself.
My damn, I tell the Texas Controller Office all the time, listen, I'm happy to pay you if my people that know me, you know how many people fucking know me? And that heat press machine hasn't done anything in 3 months. I haven't made a shirt. My camera's sitting here collecting dust because the last thing I shot was Fat Gator Weekend. People pay crumbs, they're cheap, but they want you to give them $10,000 worth of footage and pay you $60. And then yo, I got people that have the nerve to sit there and message me, hey man, share this for me, post this for me, bro. Man, you know how you do, man. Everybody eats. Oh, it's everybody eats when you need me to post for you, but I don't see nobody posting shit for me.
Everybody eats when they hungry, but when you hungry.
That's why I said I'm gonna change my company from hashtag everybody eats to hashtag everybody watch me eat. Not me, but watch you eat, because that's what you want. You want everybody to watch you eat. This is a everybody look at me era right now that we're in. It ain't everybody eats. It's everybody sit there and this plate is delicious and you want some. Now follow me, subscribe, click this, do that, and you might eat. The fuck
you might get.
Go ahead, Doug.
Did you get the $60?
I gotta cuss people out to get my money. So how I do it is because I'm the only one that shoots the footage, and they need that footage to, for their sponsors. Hey, what happened to? We need that. So they have to. That keeps them honest. I like when people have sponsors, because sponsors want to see my work, because they want to see that you're not full of shit, and we didn't put money into your bullshit campaign. So, hey man, I need that footage, man. Hey, well, you know what, man? It's taking a little longer since I shot for 18 hours, and you only trying to pay me $200 for 18 hours of work. You got me all the way fucked up. How much you pay for them nice Jordans you got? And then I seen you switch pairs during the concert. So I know, okay, Michael Jordan is a multi-billionaire, and he didn't do that taking the shit. Who the fuck is Michael Jordan? He hasn't been anybody for 15 years. Michael Jordan hasn't.
Mo, I did an advertising campaign for somebody. Went way out of my way to do a really nice job. Full
that's
page
what we do.
Ads,
Right.
Special color thrown in the driveway, et cetera, et cetera. It took me 4 years to get paid. And I had to sue the guy.
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah.
No, money up front, dude. That's the only answer. Money up front.
And then you lose them. I'm honest with people. I said, listen, man, I'm gonna need this now. I'm gonna call you, and then I'm still waiting for people to call me. But the thing is, I'm not gonna chase you because
that's right. It ain't personal, it's business, man. Look, I love you. Right? I love everybody. But when you talk about my money, about me feeding, how do I eat? About me feeding my friends and my family or whatever else, I gotta have it up front. I can't go and break my back for you and then it ain't there. No.
It's what I told people, man. Listen, if your boss came to you at payday and you're looking for, it's a Friday, man, you ready to turn up this weekend, pay your bills, and then go to the club and turn up with your paycheck, and they're like, hey man, hey man, we ain't got your check, man. Can you give us like a whole nother week or maybe another 2 weeks we get your check? You're going to HR. There's a problem. Houston, we have a problem. We're going to HR and get this. Oh, hell no, I'm not leaving here. And then you're not working. And I ain't working. You can kiss my ass. You're not working. Nobody works for free except us, photographers.
Let me tell you what you're going to hear with me, Mo.
Wow.
Did you hear that? I ain't do it again. Sorry, what'd you say? What'd
you say? We got a problem.
Sorry.
What the fuck you get a Smith & Wesson up in here? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I keep stuff with me. You're gonna pay me. I'm not leaving here. Remember that dude in Terminator 2? Say, that's a nice bike. In Terminator 2, the liquid metal guy. He was gonna kill the cop, and he acted like he said the cop was like, "Hey, you okay?" He was like, "Fine." And then he goes, "Say, that's a nice bike. I'm gonna do that to my boss. You can't pay me." That's a nice watch.
Rolex?
Hey, how's Meredith doing? How the kids doing? I'd hate to have something happen to the house while you're away on vacation. You know what I'm saying? And we get mafia on your ass real quick. How's Smokey doing? How's your dog Smokey doing? Yeah.
How do you know about Smokey?
Smokey go in the woods and don't come back. You know, I'd hate to hear that news. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on, everybody?
You know, some dogs can eat chocolate, but just that's a very, very small.
Well, dogs tend to like what's that, radiator fluid too. It tastes like Kool-Aid to them. I don't know. Maybe he had Gatorade. Maybe he had radiator fluid. That's mean because we're not after the dog. We're not really after the dog. I just want my paycheck. So let's kind of clear that up just a little bit. We're not after the dog. We're just saying things can happen to dogs. I'm just saying, you know. I mean, is there a Bigfoot? They're still searching.
I got to tell you a true story.
Go ahead.
Years ago, I met this guy, and he was doing some construction work, and he took 2 96-pound bags of cement and put them on his shoulder. 2 of them.
96 pounds of what?
Cement.
Oh, yeah, clear that because it sounds like semen.
It's cement. Okay.
96 pounds of semen. Yeah, his wife ain't touching him. Go ahead.
So 2 of them on his shoulder. And I said, why are you doing that? And he says, well, it's a shorter trip. I said, nobody carries 2 bags of cement. He said, well, I did. I said, well, how did you get so strong? He said, in prison. I said, okay, so how'd you get in prison? And he said, I tell you what, it was horrible. I was a drug dealer, this guy's telling me.
Yeah.
And the guy owed me money. And so I went to his house and I took a glass of water and I threw it in his daughter's face. And she went screaming inside. And then the guy came out and he said, hey, what are you doing to my daughter? And he said, the next time I come over here to collect money, I'm going to put acid in her face.
Wow.
True story. True story. And he said, man, when I did that, when I said that, he just used water. He said it scared me. And I was glad I got busted and went to prison because I don't think I could have lived with myself by doing that to that innocent kid.
Yeah.
Now, he didn't use acid. He used water, but he thought about it.
But we still ain't talking about the shorter trip with 2 bags of cement, though. What part of the story is that he's not telling us?
Well, the fact that he was in prison and he worked out for however many years he was in prison, he was so strong, he could lift almost 200 pounds on one shoulder.
That's great, but he said it was a shorter trip. So then you grab 800 pounds worth of cement to bury a body, you don't have to go back to the car. You can I'm just saying, let's get to the story, guy. And speaking of the story, we gotta get here.
If you gotta unload 20 bags of cement and you take 2 at a time, it's only 10 trips. It's a shorter trip.
Yes, but but that's not how the story was said. You didn't say it that way. That's like what was that one comedian? And then we got to really get to the story. That one comedian that was like, you know what I'm saying? You know, he said it was a joke. No means no, and he goes, no, it don't, because girls are like, no. Stop, don't. And then you hear it in court. Well, Your Honor, she clearly said no, don't, stop. You know what I'm saying? He goes, that's not how she said it. She didn't say it that way. You know what I'm saying? When you read it like that, you know, that was the joke. I forget the comedian. What's his name? Burks or Burl or whatever his name. White guy from like Boston. What's this like Burl or something? Burl or Burl? What's the guy's name, man?
That's okay, Mo. They all look alike.
No, I'm saying this guy's funny as fuck. I love this guy. Watch this guy, because I can't remember his name right offhand. It's gonna be 3 a.m. I'm like, that's it. I'm going live, and everybody getting back on here, and we're gonna sit here and talk about
it. You're not talking about Lewis Black, are you?
No, his last name begins with a B. It's like something Burl or what the heck? Dang gummit, it's gonna bug the hell out of me. But anyway, no, but I wanted to just get off that and get that off my chest. That's why I believe God exists. Life in birth, life in death, and then parenthood. Parenthood, I mean, we teach our kids, we love our kids with some kind of love that we don't even understand. Like, I don't know that I'm that patient. I have too much anger issues. I'm sick of people fucking with me. I go off. But a kid does it, I grit my teeth. A kid does it, I roll my eyes. I give them a look. I do, and all these chances. The only person I know who gives that many chances is God. How many times do we fuck up and we ask for forgiveness and we're forgiven? And that's the only person I know that does that. And then we have these guidelines and these rules, and we're so protective of our kids and we're watchful. We can't live their lives because we have to allow them free will to become their own, whatever they're going to become, right? But we give them the guidelines, and we hope that with these guidelines, they go on to be great people, right? When they grow up, great big people. Well, the guidelines that God gives us, the 10 commandments, and we have laws and legislatures written based on the commandments and stuff like that. And he doesn't live our lives for us. You know, he allows things to happen. Well, why does God let innocent people die? That's a whole nother discussion we could talk about. But it's not about him letting things happen. You know, it's not about he let somebody innocent die. Is the person that killed them let that happen. You get what I'm saying? Because they had a choice. They had free will. On the way to getting the poison and the cement, for example, and digging the hole, you had all that time to think that through. Do I want to kill these kids? Do I want to rape these little girls and bury them in the backyard and kill them and bury them? You have all this time to change your mind and do something different, but you don't. You carry it out. And then people blame God and say, well, God knew that person was going to do it. Yes, but he gave you the opportunity to not do it. That's why you had all that ample time to think it over. How do you drive 200 miles to shoot 19 people and you didn't have time? You can't say, well, you know, I was angry, I felt like killing people, so you drove 200 miles to do it. You didn't have nobody around the corner. I'm not saying kill anybody, but I'm just saying you couldn't just shoot your neighborhood up, walk out of your house and just fire off your M16 or whatever and hit your neighbors. Just saying. You got in the car and drove to a specific destination to do a specific thing, carry it out. You had no time to think it over. You had no time on the car ride home, cussing somebody out for cutting you off on the road to get there. Nothing. It didn't dawn on you. Devin, I think we had a similar talk like that earlier. Friends that betray their friends and they say it just happened. So when you're fucking my homeboy's wife, you had no idea that was your homeboy's wife? When you called and she said he wasn't home and you pulled up and went upstairs and you weren't there to have a visit like you normally do, drink and shoot pool or play cards with your homeboy, right? When did it dawn on you that you're at home alone with your best friend's wife and now you're upstairs in her bed, his bed, with her, and you took your clothes off and you watched her take her clothes off, and it gets into further detail, right? None of that time to think it over and say, man, this ain't right. We shouldn't do this. Nah, man, I shouldn't even come here. I shouldn't even pulled up. We can't be friends when you got in the car. You got in the car. That's when our friendship ended.
What about the three people, two men and one girl, who beat my cousin to death, planned it out for months, beat him to death, and they out of their crime, they got $5.
Yeah.
Now, so they all went to prison, but at what point in planning this all out did somebody think, well, you know, what if we don't get very much money? Is it worth $5?
So it was a planned out aggravated assault and robbery.
No, it was a planned out murder. They were planning to kill him because they figured they'd get a lot more money than $5.
They thought he was rich?
Well, he owned a bunch of laundromats, and so every day he had a lot of cash, which he picked up and took to the bank. Well, they murdered him after he made his deposit.
Yeah.
They should have at least thought about, well, why don't we murder him before he makes his deposit?
Yeah.
No, I mean, what people do sometimes is crazy.
And that's why when I hear all this crap, conspiracy fact or not, who gives a shit? I've got like a George Carlin attitude. Everybody remember George Carlin?
Oh, yeah.
Like, who gives a fuck? Like, at the end of the day, it's not meant to serve us anyways. All that information that they're leaking is a slap in the face that we can tell you what we want, whether it's truth or not, and you're going to believe it and kill each other over it and argue and fight while whatever's really happening behind here is what we're really doing. I think that's really what it's all about. So who gives a fuck? Poisoning the food, poisoning the water, weather control, disease control. What's the big thing that's going on around here now? They're discovering religiously that they're trying to alter DNA. So they came up with the answer to the 144 at the end in Revelations that the 144 will enter the kingdom with God. So the 144 is supposed to be the original double helix DNA, right? That's the DNA. That's the human DNA. But they're trying to alter it and make it a triple helix, which comes up being like over 216,000. And that's supposed to be the abomination DNA, right? Hence starting the whole world of Noah again. Remember, God flooded the world because of the abominations, angels. They said the angels are demons messing with humans and creating these abominations. So now these humans are going to be abominations. Obviously, they can't get into heaven because God created humans. So that explains the 144,000. It's the double helix DNA and all the numbers that add up in the DNA. It adds up to 144,000. So there's that. So what do you do with that story? Y'all's thoughts?
Well, recently I heard that there is a company who has used genetic engineering to alter the genetics of salmon fish, and they most of what they consume turns into flesh, so they grow really fast, and they end up being a big fish. But the question is, now we're going to eat that? We're going to eat this genetically engineered flesh? I mean, what about actual salmon that God made and put in the streams and put in the ocean and all that? What's wrong with that?
And the thing is they make. Go ahead.
Those aren't good anymore. We just need to put our man-made touch on it. You know, why do we need stuff that God created for anyway? You know.
Yeah.
Let's just eat all genetic food, genetics. Who cares?
Aren't they doing that with bananas and certain foods? The berries are much bigger, but then you notice they don't last as long. I remember a time growing up in the 80s, we put a bushel of, we used to go to, in Pennsylvania, we used to go to the orchards and pick everything we wanted. Strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, cherries from the tree. I'm talking whatever you wanted, nectarines. I mean, the works, whatever you could carry, you could keep. And we had bushels. We'd ride a hay wagon and we'd get bushels. That's the one thing I miss about that time. The fruit was so delicious. I remember a time we had the box carton of milk back in the day. Remember, you had to push it and then pull the little tip out. People would go in the fridge. Oh, my grandmother hated this, but they would go in and drink the milk and put it back in the fridge. And that milk never turned. I never remember that milk ever turning. You buy milk in H-E-B. If you don't touch it for 3 days, it's spoiled. Literally, like in 3-4 days. The milk is watery. It doesn't look like it has any real consistency, and it doesn't last long. Everything spoils so quick. Like you buy strawberries 2 days later, it's molded and bruised, and it's like, what the fuck? Blueberries.
Yeah, what have we done to our food supply? Absolutely.
Yeah. Wait, I tell you what we've done. You know what we've done? We've taken God out of it. See, when God has something, it lasts forever. When man does something, it deteriorates. We're not learning. We're not paying attention. Why is it we got strawberries this big and they're sweet and delicious the first day, and then 2 days later they're molded and you're throwing them out? How much fruit? Blackberries especially. I used to love eating blackberries, and they're good for you. If you don't eat them in that first or second day, you got to throw them out. They get that white cottony mold on it, like that. God damn, I've thrown away more food. I spent $400 in groceries, and in 2 days, I'm throwing away $300 of it.
Yeah. Hey, that's why I encourage everybody. And for those who don't know, I hunt and I fish. And, you know, I try to live off the land as much as I can. I look up mushrooms. I look up edibles. And I don't mean like edible, like mushrooms, like psychedelic stuff like that. But, you know, like elderberry that grows wild. There's a lady who makes like almond bread. Not almond bread, but acorn bread or something like that. So the thing is that there's so much stuff that gets converted into man-made. It gets converted into accessibility because we're getting lazy. And that's the problem. Like, that's even a sin of being lazy, because we don't want to go out and work for it no more. Why would we go work for it when we can just go to the store and buy it? You know what I'm saying? Like, that, to me, that's the best part about me harvesting a wild animal, whether a deer, whether a squirrel, a turkey, a duck, is that I know for a fact that bird or duck or deer has no preservatives in it. You know what I'm saying? I could age that meat, you know, outside, you know, when it's cold outside, and cure it like the Alaskans did or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
it means so much more to me, and it makes me feel so much better as compared to going to, let's say, McDonald's and getting a cheeseburger or whatever, or going to Walmart and spending $1,000 on a pound of meat, by the way, a hamburger, by the way. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I can go harvest a deer and grind up my own meat and know for sure what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Now, of course, they can say, well, you don't know if the deer's sick or whatever else. Like, yeah, you're right, but most time you can see a sick animal. It's like you can see a sick dog or a sick cow that you don't know you're gonna eat anyway. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like the guy's like, well, we're gonna let this one slide. If we let this sick cow go, we lose $5,000. Man, they don't care. So I mean, for me, it's like I said, I know what my deer eat for the most part because I feed them. They're like my cattle. They eat my corn, they eat my salt, my mineral lick that I put out there for them and stuff like that to make them grow healthy. It's like they're vitamins, they're essentials. Yeah. But it's all natural. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said I encourage everybody, man, to go out there. Even if you don't want to hunt, you can eat the fish. I know, Mo, you're a fisherman and stuff like that, and you got to be careful what kind of fish you eat too. But, start a garden, man. It don't have to be a big one. Start off small. Go use some peppers. Go use some tomatoes and stuff. And when you're doing this stuff, you're going to understand. Because, like you said, Mo, a strawberry that you buy at the store is this big, but a strawberry in reality is only that big. You know what I'm saying? They're small.
Weed is all get out and lasts forever.
50-pound chickens now. You go to the store and get your chicken's bigger than your face, but I ain't never seen a baby Tyrannosaurus Rex run around here, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the
people getting chased by chickens.
The irony in all that is they think, why work and go for when I can just go to the store? Well, who's the motherfucker that's putting it in the store? Well, and I think it's a lot more work to cheat the system than to just follow the system. What do I mean? Let it be organic like God intended. It's a lot more work to try to outdo God. I think the devil is doing too much, trying to outdo God. And at the end of the day, you've done it all, and God's still sitting in his throne like, well, still here. Ain't nobody kicked in my door taking nothing over. And ain't nobody going to come down here and kick in my door and take anything over. So at the end of the day, it's a waste of fucking time. It's stupid. And don't even get me started on these people that are choosing their sexes and their pronouns and we doing that. You want to argue about that. Again, I hate to pull this card. Everybody pulls the race card. Yeah, well, I'm going to pull the race card, but I'm not the race card talking about a black man. I'm pulling the race card talking about we still have racism. We haven't finished that discussion. We haven't even touched that meal, and we're already in the cheesecake. Listen, get out of the cheesecake and let's get back over here in this steak dinner of racism that I'm talking about. Good collard greens and a good salad, cornbread. Get back over here. You want to argue with me because you feel like a man inside. You're a man. I feel inside my head and I'm spitting it out my mouth. You're a fucking idiot. That's how I feel. But see, I can't say that because I get canceled or cancel me. I ain't nobody any goddamn way. And and you gonna cancel me? I'm gonna be doing this to you. You fucking girl. You're a girl. Girl, female. I'm canceled, so it doesn't matter what I say. Female, see what I'm doing? I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Female. Stop acting like a fucking idiot. And these guys that are doing it too because you put breasts on. You know what I'm saying? Look, I work out. It doesn't make me Arnold Schwarzenegger. I just a guy that bodybuilds. But I don't want to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. I like being me that bodybuilds. Eat a fucking dick. I feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger today. No, I don't. I feel like Mo that went to the gym and I feel good today because I worked out and I exercise and it makes me feel good and I like it. And I don't go shoving it in people's face. Look at that motherfucker. He's cocky. Because he's all buff. No. I'm confident because I worked hard for you, fucking simple-minded imbecile. If you would do the same thing instead of judging me, you probably have some pecs on you and some biceps on you too. You're too busy watching me on the phone talking about, see, that's why I can't come to the gym because of lunkheads like that. I started out skinny like you motherfucker. Have you met me? Well, I ain't come out of my mother like this.
Mo, the reason I love standing next to you on the stage, which we've done, I can put my arm behind yours and people think that I have the biceps that you've got.
Oh, shit. Look, you know what I'm saying?
But I don't have to work. I just stand close to you.
His hands look funny. Either he's a leper or his hands are funny. Why is he white-faced and black-handed? Or why does the black guy have white arms? Leprosy. Isn't that what they call albinoism back then? It was leprosy when you were albino. There's something like that. Your skin was that you had that Vitiligo, isn't that what leprosy was? Where your skin was all rashy and weird and ashy? I don't know. Maybe it's part of it. I don't know. But no, seriously, world, what the fuck are we talking about here? Unc says, "What's up, Devin?
What's
What
going
up,
on?
man?" So listen, man. People, you get on your tangents, and I can't stand these self-righteous people full of sin trying to talk to me about how I should express myself, and we should just love, and we should this, and we should that. Every time I get on my soapbox, I'm on my soapbox. But then when you got something to say, it's all out of love. If you don't get your boy, I swear to. See, I'm trying to get to heaven, but you motherfuckers are really pushing it. I swear to God. No, it irks the fuck out of me. You always coming in peace and love, trying to tell people how to express themselves. Why don't you just shut up and let us express ourselves? It's the same idiot ideology that people have. What are these trans, whatever you want to be? I'm just going to leave it at that. Trans, whatever the fuck you want to be. Going to the children and saying, well, we're trying to teach our children to be tolerant. Yes, they've got it. It's called childhood. Have you seen them? A child sees another child. Doesn't matter where they come from. Play. That's all a child thinks. Oh my God, babies, play. They don't care. Oh, black baby, never mind. Oh, Jewish baby, never mind. Oh, that's my best friend. And they met each other 10 minutes ago. And then, okay, Jimmy, we got to go. Time to eat. Yeah, they're hugging each other. It's like their dog died. Oh, my best friend. That's tolerance. I mean, that is God.
That's because they were born that way. Racism and intolerance is learned.
What did you just do there? What did you just do there, Doug? Did you just prove that God exists? Because if God is love and we already have that love inherent when we're born, then you just proved that God exists. And that's the whole topic we're talking about just right now, right? The argument was, how can I prove God exists? Doug, I think you just stumbled on something. Are black men in suits coming at, or how do you say that? Black men in suits or men in black suits? We'll figure that out. Tune in after these messages.
And we're back with the FBI diversity channel.
I still have this guy unconscious on my floor. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with him.
If you have weird mosquito not even biting you, just sitting on your speaker, yeah, shut down the live right now. Mosquito don't behave that way. If they're not flying around you trying to find a way to stick their little needle in you and they're just sitting on your speaker, it's a mosquito just sitting there. Anybody know a mosquito to do that? Yeah, burn the house down and get out of town. Yeah, of course God exists, but people trying to act like, God this and God that and God. Then you explain it. How did it get here? Well, I'm like scientifically. No, I said you explain it. Don't take somebody else's work. Yep, I'm talking about my own life experience on why God exists. I didn't read anything out of a book and say, oh, well, scientifically this. And this is the people that get me, these hotheads. Now, there's this one guy, he's a Jew. He's out there and he's always got his thoughts and he thinks he's so right because of statistics. I love the guy and agree with a lot of what he says. He's not going to change his whole ideal based biology based on how people feel in their own diluted way. I forget the guy, young guy, Shapiro. That's his name. I like that guy. But here's the thing that bugs me with that guy. He's like everybody else when it comes to statistics, right? Here's my whole thought on statistics. I like what you're doing. I like how you back up with your theories and your ideals. But who's keeping score? Black people aren't walking around taking stats. Mexicans aren't walking around taking stats. Who's keeping score? So, of course, somebody on the outside can talk about how bad it is in the fucking hood, but you ain't never been in the hood. It's always those people that talk about Black Lives Matter, right? So you look good, but then it's not incumbent upon them to step up when you see police brutality against blacks. You don't step up and fold arms, lock arms in front of the cops and say, if you hit them one more time, you got to hit us. You got to deal with us. Why? Because of a certain benefit that does not exist. A certain privilege that we've just made up. Oh, black people tell me why there's more single homes and more single this and more single that. Because of somebody's bright idea called welfare back in the day, meant to break up the black family. You want to talk about that? Why is there more violence in the hood than anything else? Because we don't have a voice and we got to put our anger somewhere. Ask the person that's angry. Why are they angry? They lash out on the people closest to them. They come in the hood, you have problems. And they come into the suburbs, you have a problem, don't you?
Hey, Mo.
Why is the education this and that? Because the schools are horrible and you don't do anything about it. You just let people run amok and let the schools be run down. The teachers aren't paid. You take the lowest bidding teachers just to get a job to teach these kids that they can't control. Yeah, people are angry. That's why that happens.
Hey, Mo.
The reason why wars happen. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question real quick. What happens when you go into somebody's hood? What they tell you?
What happens when what?
What happens when you go into someone's hood that you don't belong there? What do they tell you?
They tell you get the fuck up out of here. What, you lost or something?
You don't belong here, right? It ain't like they're out there. Ain't like they're out there preying on you and stuff or victimizing you for coming in. Someone say you don't belong here, bro. You need to leave, man.
Why you came over here, bro? You lost something? You lost something?
Yeah, that's
Make
it.
You turn right down the road and get your ass up out of here before you. And they start showing you stuff. Stop talking, bro. Stop talking.
It's time to go. So. For those that don't know, I study criminal justice. I go to EKU, by the way, working my master's degree in justice policy and leadership. A lot of the stuff that Mo's talking about statistics, I have to write a 20-page paper before the end of the week. I'm not looking forward to it, but I have to do it. But yeah, you can make statistics match any type of narrative that you want to do. Yes. And when you look at it, like, you know,
when you control the narrative.
Yeah, even if you just change one thing about statistics, like, for example, they say 2 in 3 blacks will go to jail for their lifetime. Okay? Yeah. That's what the statistic is, right?
Yeah.
That means if another black person got on here, 1 in 3 of us is going to go to, 1 of us is going to go to jail for a lifetime. That's a really big number. But instead of saying 33% will go and 66% will be outstanding citizens, you throw that number out there to make it seem worse than what it is. Because last time I checked, I'm no math major, but 66 is bigger than 33. So, I mean, if 1 in 3 blacks go to jail, okay, I mean, I can live with that. I mean, is that a bad odd? I mean, that's a small number, 2/3 or 1/3, 33%. So it's like again, going back to making it fit your narrative of telling the stats of it. Another thing you said about was talking about why blacks are in jail, welfare, right? We talking about not having jobs. Well, think about it like this, because people, I love how the government puts things in black and white, like Martin Luther King in black and white, to make it look like it's just so old and so long ago that they didn't have color TVs back then. You can look up John F. Kennedy and look up all this other stuff, and they're all in picture and color. But then you look at the civil rights movement, it's in black and white because they want you to think that it's ancient and old. But you got to remember, even when you're in the military, I'm not saying you, Mo, but in the military, you couldn't be over the white people. You couldn't have your higher rank. They couldn't have a black person telling a white person what to do. They're still living in black codes and Jim Crow laws. So what kind of jobs do we have? The jobs that nobody wanted? And so then what does that lead to? If my daddy don't know about education, how can he teach me about education? If my daddy was a plumber and what do you think I'm going to be, a plumber? Like, I'll be a rocket scientist because my daddy knew better. Like, that's not how it normally works.
We are what we see. We are what we grow up. If all we know is drugs and crime and hustling to make a dollar to survive. I mean, but that's the question I was going to ask you to what you were saying. And based on Shapiro's point and all that with the statistics, right? Well, you asked the question, why are there so many blacks? Or why this percentage of that percentage of numbers of blacks are in prison or in this or that? Well, did you ask them? Did you go up to them personally and ask them? Did you go up and talk to them? See, I did a thesis on, I have my beliefs on homosexuality. But rather than knock homosexuals down and belittle them and berate them and everything, I had a conversation with them. I want to hear from them. Why are you gay? Yeah, I hear, I knew from the time I was a kid. Bullshit, because children don't think like that unless they're influenced like that. It all depends on the circumstance. I knew a lot more about sex by the time I was 5 years old, not because I was thinking about sex, but because of what I was exposed to and what I experienced and saw at 5 years old. Okay. But that I didn't say I wasn't 3 years old talking about, man, I need some pussy. Man, I'm a heterosexual boy. I gotta get me some pussy right now. If I don't get some pussy, somebody about to get it. No, I wasn't going around thinking. Kids don't think like that. Okay. And that's the thing that insulted. That was more insulting than homosexuality. Okay, you're gonna be gay. Well, be gay. And that's what you are. That's just what you are. Okay. I didn't get the closet. Why are you in the closet? Because society, who gives a fuck what society thinks? Society didn't like interracial couples and stuff like that. And that's everywhere. And nobody passed the thing saying we like it. They passed the thing saying, okay, we're not going to do anything about it. But they didn't pass the thing saying that they liked it. There's a lot of people today that don't like it. They hate sisters. They're taking all them white girls, taking all our brothers. You know, I heard that myself dating white girls. You know what I'm saying? I prefer to date black, but I don't want to date a black girl that looks like a white girl to me. Let me explain. Hang on. I can see that some of y'all can't talk to. I don't want a black girl with blonde weave down her back and blue contacts in her eye. If I want blonde hair and blue eyes, I'll date a white girl. That's my point. Done with that. I don't want a girl speaking proper. They talk about this whole argument about acting black and acting this and acting that. No, I don't like the whole acting black and acting white thing, but I'll say this. There are certain ways that certain people conduct themselves. Certain people talk. There are certain dialects. There's certain accents. There's certain this and that. When you have white people that portray these certain accents that are more commonplace in the black community, that gets misconstrued as them acting black. Vice versa. Black guy grows up, he's considered proper, Uncle Tom or educator, he whitewashed, or this and that, because he's talking the way that's commonplace in suburbia. In suburbia, there's no need for people to be like, yeah, I'm finna do this and I'm finna go bust somebody upside their goddamn head. They don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You sound hostile and violent. But in the hood, nigga, you so stupid, you bitch. And we call each other all kinds of shit upside our head, and we're joking. Come to the island with that fuck and come to some Rasta man that don't know you and be like, you stupid motherfucker. He gonna cut you because he doesn't understand the joke. You just insult me, you disrespect me. You just disrespect the God in me.
Yeah.
I hail you up. Hey, hail, Rastafari, Jah, Rastafari, hail, respect. You know what I mean? They hail you, they salute the God in you. And you come to, you stupid motherfucker, man. You dapping him up. He ain't dapping you up. He's going to bust you upside your head with something because he doesn't understand the jokes. So there's certain behaviors and certain commonplace that's commonplace in other places and that in one place that's not in other places that gets misconstrued. So let's just clear that up. But here's the thing. So the whole thing about, listen, black people taking all our brothers and white girls taking all our brothers and all this and that. Listen, there are still people that are not 100% on board with the interracial mixing. I see black girls with white guys and they love their white guy, but then they walk around and I've seen it happen to me, and I'm not even dating the white guy. You are, but you walk around me and get uncomfortable because you don't know how I'm going to react. And until I say something, well, hey, how y'all doing? Good morning. Oh, hey. But the black girl gets like I see her naked just now in front of her man. And I'm like, you walk around acting like you're proud of your man until you get around black, and then you carry some kind of unwritten shame. I saw it. And I was so happy that her husband didn't see it, but I was sad for him because he's walking around like he was just a regular guy. Like, hey, it's my wife. I don't give a shit. I'm Robert De Niro. I got a black wife. You don't hear Robert De Niro, I date black women. No, when you see him, you see his wife. Oh, okay, that's what he's talking about. You don't see Robert De Niro on no shit. Robert De Niro is Robert De Niro, right? That's how he was. But she saw me and then got kind of like, how's he going to react? Because, how's he going to react to me? And that bothered me. And that's the world we live in. You guys go ahead. Because it seems like more people are more interested in this conversation than the book. Y'all don't want to read chapter 6. From what I heard, it's short. We got to get into the book, but I'm happy to talk about it. Your thoughts, Doug, on everything?
Well, Mo, you've covered a lot of subjects here, and it's not something that I can really address briefly. I think probably the best lesson that I learned, once upon a time, I was on the school board as an elected official, and we had
not long ago, by the way. When you say once upon a time, you always have to say not long ago.
Yeah,
you don't want to age yourself.
we had a situation of racial discrimination in our school district, and the group that came to us told us these things were going on. And so as the board of trustees, we hired an attorney, and the attorney was tasked with investigating the charges. A month later, the attorney came back to us and said, we went into executive session, said, gentlemen, you have a problem. It's like, okay, what? She said, this attorney said, you're guilty of this and this and this and this, and not us personally, but our school district.
Okay.
And I thought, holy cow, this is going on. This was in the 1990s. This is going on today. And it was. But the lesson that I learned is that there was a retired Air Force guy who stood up in front of the Board of Trustees one night addressing this subject. And he said, on the battlefield, everybody bleeds red. And that's a fact. Yeah. I mean, this color is skin deep. Yes, we have background differences, cultural differences, and so on. But genetically, we're extremely close to one another. I mean, maybe identical. I don't know. There's slight differences, but but you cut somebody, the color is red.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
My blood ain't yellow. My blood ain't green.
What are we talking about? Why is there this huge controversy in the United States, and around the world? What the hell?
Because people are making money on it. And Devin is swelling with anticipation. Go ahead, Devin. Take the floor and answer Doug's question.
I really can't answer that. I mean, because that's the truth. I mean, we all bleed red. I mean, me and my buddies, you know, and I say buddies. I don't have to say my white buddies or my black buddies or whatever, you know.
No, your buddies. Your friends.
But I don't think that a race. I mean, maybe so if he's ignorant enough. He'll be like, oh, I only want the black blood or I only want the white blood to keep it pure in my family. Like, you know, I've seen a video or a picture of a black nurses that were operating on a Ku Klux Klan member. You think he cared at the time that they were black? You know, it's like, I got shot in the chest and I'm dying. Let me get some white nurses in here to take care of me. I don't want you black people touching me. Yeah. He didn't care then. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny how that
put up a fight. But at the end of the day, we were thankful. Like, I'm glad you didn't listen to my dumb ass. You know, go ahead.
Well, what you don't know on that story, I happen to be familiar with that story. When he was knocked out, they circumcised him.
Oh, what? Wow.
They molested him?
No, it's just making that up.
What is going on, world? What is going on?
That was funny.
Y'all are crazy, man. Y'all are blessed. Hey, what's up, Instagram? I'm still here. I'm just letting y'all face the camera, but I just want to let y'all know I see y'all. I love y'all. What's happening, everybody? All right, I'm turning y'all back around so y'all can see everybody else.
So one thing I want to add about you, Mo, I know we talk about this all the time.
Hey, don't speak nothing over me, man. I'm struggling to get in my damn self, man. Go ahead.
Hold on 1 second. My thing is getting.
I got to turn back around. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you.
Hold on. It went to my Bluetooth. Hold on. Let me do something real quick.
We hear you.
You know, it's pretty amazing that we have technology available where we can have this conversation. We're in 3 different locations. One of us is in a car. Yeah. 2 of us are in some kind of structure, and this is all happening through the air. Pretty amazing, isn't it?
And that's the thing we should be celebrating. We should be celebrating advances like that and helping to advance ourselves as a civilization, as as a people. We're not, because somebody found a way to make money off us killing one another, and that answers your question, Doug. Devin said he couldn't answer the question, but that's unfortunately the answer. There is money to be made at funerals. And that's a shirt. I didn't post that shirt because it was controversial, but I think I'm going to post it now because the world's controversial now as it is. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, back to my point about the whole homosexual stuff, I wrote a thesis on it, and I went and I spoke to the homosexuals. I spoke to the lesbian group. I spoke to everyone, and I included them in my discussion. And I told them what I was doing. I told them my thoughts and my ideas on their ideals and their lifestyles, and I wrote my thesis, and my teacher gave me a D on it. I took it to the dean read it, gave me an A+ on it, and reprimanded the teacher. Turns out the teacher was bisexual, living a double life behind his wife's back. See what happens when you get dirty? You play in the mud, you get dirty, huh? Hey. You know
Well,
what I'm saying? Oh, I didn't mean for y'all to drink that Kool-Aid. You were supposed to drink this Kool-Aid. Well, you know, now we 13 drinking Kool-Aid with vodka in it. Now you got some explaining to do, Lucy. But Unc said he's going to Uvalde. Get some hunting. But no, so what was I saying in all this? I was talking about tolerance and putting up with stuff. Listen, let's leave the children alone and let's learn from our children. You want to talk about tolerance? Let's talk about not tolerating racism. That's an argument that we've had, like we said at the beginning of this whole thing. We've had this argument. Okay, there are people of color in the world outside of white. There are yellow, red, and all this and that. Whatever you want. And I sound so racist saying that yellow people, red people, you know what I'm saying? Despite my actual true skin color, I've been called black my whole life. I'd like to think my shirt's black and you can still see me, or I'm this black blob with a white hat and this black is silhouette or something. It's like I'd look like I was on green screen or something. I don't know. You know, it's like I tell my kid, you think that the colors of the rainbow are arguing about what color's in the rainbow? No. Purple is not jealous of orange. It's too busy being purple. Orange isn't jealous of red or yellow. It's too busy being orange. So I told my daughter, what's your favorite color? She said purple. So I said, be all the purple you can be, honey. Because at the end of the day, your purple helps to make that rainbow as beautiful as the rainbow is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The rainbow doesn't stop being the rainbow because you got an attitude. You know what I'm saying? You feel it should be purple. If it was purple, it wouldn't be a rainbow.
And what if it identifies? What if it identifies
as a purple tree? Then that rainbow is just as diluted as everybody else identifying with shit. How come you get to identify as a man and we got to accept that, but I can't walk into a bank and say, hey, I identify with having 20 million in my account. You don't get to violate my rights, my civil rights as a human being. I feel I should have 20 million in the bank and go Karen on them and get it. How come that hasn't happened? I mean, why does that work for you and it doesn't work for me? And where are the statistics on that? I'm just asking y'all, man.
So hold on. Can I say one more thing real quick? Then I got to get off here. My headset's dying, and I had to drive it.
Oh no, you go. Hey, listen, you owe me at least chapter 6. Chapter 6 is short. Let me read you chapter 6, then you can go ahead and go. Deal?
Okay. All right.
Let him say what he wants to say because he's been trying for 10 minutes.
Let him go.
I know. I had to go charge the battery back up, so I'm sitting in the driveway and stuff. So, so going back to acting a certain color, I've never understood that. I've been called white my whole life. Like, you know, oh, Devin, you're the whitest black guy I know. I'm like, what do you mean by that? Well, I mean, you hunt and you fish. So what? This after we got our freedom, we're just like, hey, master, just keep on feeding us, please. You know, we didn't have our own foods, our own fields of crops, and none of that stuff like that. We didn't sit underneath the white man's feet for 200 years and just waited for kids to the scraps of it and stuff. It's like, no. But that's the thing about history. Don't teach it. We've had Black Wall Street before. We've had all this stuff before. We've been black doctors and stuff. Heck, where do you think black doctors originated from? You know, you say Chinese people came from doctors, but what about over in Africa? We just didn't have doctors. We were all just fighting lions with swords and spears.
What's that red beam on your forehead, Devin? You might want to duck. You in Kentucky now. Hey, wait a minute, Devin. You riding with us? You don't sound like you riding with us, Devin. We just hunted last week. Week, man.
I tell you what, 90% of my guns are black, so I'm okay.
And what statistic is that?
That's a very, very high number.
We can say safely 2 out of every 3 guns. We can say 2 out of every 3 guns is black.
I have one white gun, one solid white gun. It's a shotgun. I have one solid white gun.
I think it's important. I think it's important for this discussion for all of you to realize that 60% of all statistics are incorrect.
Okay. And like I said, and we talk about black and white and all this and that, right? But what about the nickel-plated guns? Nobody argues about them.
We don't talk about
guns. The ivory guns, the guns with the ivory handling. They have.
We don't discuss that information anymore. You know.
I'm gonna make a T-shirt with a pistol on it. You remember the one that I said I used the 357 Magnum, and then I put the ND and it said Second Amendment. And I went to Miami wearing that shirt on the airport, from the airport, Austin Bergstrom Airport, all the way through my Fort Lauderdale into Miami. I got nothing but love for that shirt. They were like, bro, I love that shirt. Where did you get that shirt from? Of course, I didn't see the sales. They didn't translate into sales, which would have been nice. But I mean, but that shirt that I got, but I'm going to make a shirt with a nickel plated gun with ivory handling. Say nickel plate lives matter.
But
you'll find that joke funny later, y'all.
Real quick. So I mean, I know. I have to get off of here, Mo.
No,
but I'm gonna let you finish chapter 6, okay? But let me say this real quick. How long is chapter 6?
It's like, okay, that's a good question. Chapter 6 is literally like a couple paragraphs long.
Okay. All right. Let me make this comment real quick, and I'll let you read it, okay? Because my little boy and my girlfriend waiting for me inside, and I've been pulling 14-hour days.
It's just slightly over 2 pages long.
Okay. All right. So
you could bring them. I mean, it's a story. It's a love story. Bring your fam. As
soon as I go inside, I'm eating and taking a shower and going to bed.
in what order? We just want to know how much time we have. Because if you go and take a shower, fall asleep in the shower, then you don't eat.
you know I don't miss meals, man. You know how that is.
Yeah. No, but Devin, I have to say though, I know, but you are my white boy, but not because you're a black guy that acts white. It's just everything about you is country, and people associate country being white. Sorry. I mean, there are black cowboys and black country, and we can go the whole historic route. But when you think of it from a modern day broad perspective, when you think of a country boy, they're white boys, right? The cowboy boots, the jeans, the hat. You're my white boy. But,
so hold on. Let me educate you on that, okay?
Oh shit! Here we go.
Hold on.
You gotta go.
Hold on. All right. So say that again. You said cowboy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me. I love this. So you know how every sports team and stuff was like named after something like the Washington Redskins and stuff, and they said it was racist, and they changed it to something else, and all this stuff. Okay. Now. Yes. I'm learning about history as I do this stuff because I have to write about the discrimination part of blacks in America and stuff like that. That's what my professional wants to write about. Right. So they used blacks as mascots back then, right? So like if there was a good luck mascot, then people would go and steal them, and and they were actually black people. Okay. And sometime when the team lost, okay, just to educate you guys, I'm not going to tell the whole story. You guys got Google. There's no reason for you not to understand this stuff or learn about this stuff. Again, right. Stop being lazy and stop getting the pill version and go learn it where it came from, okay? Don't take what I'm telling you to the heart. Just listen to me what I'm saying. If you don't believe it, go research it, okay? So I know I'm trying to make this short. But basically sometimes if there was a team, if the team lost, there was a blind black guy, they let him try to figure his way back home. That's crazy. But anyway, okay, so going back to the cowboy, right? Being the whitest boy that you've seen or whatever, the whitest guy that you've seen. So you know the actual term cowboy? Cowboys were all black, okay? I said that. Cowboys are all black.
Yeah.
Okay? So what do I mean by that? If I ever called a white man boy back then, Devin White wouldn't be here. Devin White would be lynched. Devin White would be hung. He'd be beaten. He'd be white people were called hands. They were called cow hands. Cowboys referred to the black people that helped out. So the term cowboys is originated as in all black. So when you look at and I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, right, Mo?
Yeah.
Do I ride with any other team, Mo? Right. So when you look at the Dallas Cowboys and you look at all their Caucasian mascots and they're all white, blue-eyed guys, the same haircut and stuff, it makes me laugh because that's not what a cowboy is, but it's okay. But so when you hear the word cowboy, again, we didn't just sit underneath master's foot forever and just sit there and beg for food. We had to go out and do jobs like bronco busting and herding cows and stuff like that. We had our own plantations and stuff that we had to run. We had our own farms that we ran, So it's like, it isn't that the fact that we didn't know how to do this stuff. We did. Yeah. You think they did that for labor? Is that what happened?
I heard that story too. I know about that. And to speak on the whole cowboy thing, that's funny that you said that, because yeah, it was a derogatory term like Christian, and a lot of people don't want to hear that either. Christian was a derogatory term to mock and mimic the people that were followers of Christ. We talked about that before. But so Washington Redskins went from being racist to being I don't want to say privileged, but entitled. That's the word I want to use. So it's not the Washington Redskins now, it's the Washington Commanders. Well, the Indians who were the Redskins weren't commanding shit. So who are we talking about? So how you go from racist to entitled? I'm just saying. Come on, man. That's why you let it go.
Let's add to this. We had to get rid of Aunt Jemima, right?
Yeah.
But we still got Colonel Sanders. Kentucky Fried Chicken. I'm in Kentucky. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So we get rid of Aunt Jemima, who made everything so nice and sweet, but we still
they got rid of Uncle Ben too.
Uncle Ben. We got rid of Uncle Ben because Uncle Ben was, racist, black, racist, whatever it is. But we still got Colonel Sanders. They're still giving us chicken. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The white guy that serves chicken, the racist slang, the watermelon, grape soda, and chicken. The one thing that if you ain't black, you ain't never been black. That's you eat that. I know, but you're not the whitest thing I've ever seen. I hope I didn't say you were the whitest thing I've ever seen. I just say you're my white boy because you hunt, you do everything that. I'm a city black guy from New York, Pennsylvania area. I grew up in the city and I didn't get country till I came out here. So when I see a black guy in cowboy hat and stuff, you're my white guy. Devin is my white guy. You know what I'm saying? You're like, that's my white boy right there. You know what I mean? Because you fit in with them so well, they get along and you don't give a shit. And I look at that in awe. I'm loving it. And I've known you for years and it's still it's like, that's just Devin.
So my sister calls me white boy because my last name is White. So, right. but anyway, so Doug, I know you had said something, Doug. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
What were you saying, Doug?
What does it mean when one of my favorite foods is fried chicken?
You're black.
You're black. I'm sorry.
And deny
you might like change his demographics. Both Democrats just
growing up.
I'm sick of you, Devin. And you gotta go.
You might as well go ahead and sag your pants. I mean, you might as well go ahead and act all the way black, man. You know,
just turn your hat like that real quick. Just turn your hat.
Get your grill, throw your gang signs, Doug. You gotta be all the way black, man. You know,
bro.
It's no real being it. So.
Yeah,
you know,
growing up, I have great memories of sitting on the porch eating watermelon by the slice. I mean, you don't didn't get any better than that, man.
Bro, hey, man, that's what I'm saying, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, Doug, get on the train, man.
Transracial, man.
Get on the bus.
You just got it. You're transracial now. Transracial. That's what it is. Congratulations.
You're identified.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother. Go. Assalamu alaikum.
You know what I'm saying? You are identified as black, man. You are a light-skinned brother. Get on the bus.
Yeah.
and because you're so light-skinned, you can sit up front with Rosa.
I gotta go, man.
Oh no, man, you gotta give me chapter 6. All right.
Come on, you gotta do quick.
We got to get into the book, y'all. This is what we was doing. So if you need to follow up on the story, just click the link in the comments and get on my YouTube channel. Be sure and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you can get all the reading to catch up. I already did the kind of brief what's going on. We're in America, and here's the story. Chapter 6. It is now September 8th, 1850. The boat has pulled into America. The Libertine made it to New York, made it to the New York harbor weeks later. Once the storm broke, the winds were favorable and the trip ended quickly. Darby had said little since May died. Darby had said little since May died. And while all were on deck to see land, Darby's heart was lacking the joy it once had. As New York harbor came into sight, Darby's chest pounded. He could smell fresh air. "We're here, May, sweet May," he said softly. Arriving in America was his dream, but without May, it would also be a broken dream. Okay. There were huge lines on shore, piles of cargo and passenger trunks, American processing immigrants, questions, confusion, and uncertainty. For Darby, it was bittersweet. He wanted to be in America, but not like this. The loneliness was crushing, and he found himself in a crippling daze. The Irish community welcomed him and the others, and helped former countrymen find housing and look for jobs. Jobs were scarce. Often, job notices ended with Irish need not apply. There were just too many immigrants in New York, and so, as had agreed to do for Master Henry and paid his passage, Darby set off walking for Pennsylvania. So he's walking from New York to Pennsylvania. That's crazy. There, he had heard there would be work, and once he fulfilled his obligation of 3 years' labor to Master Henry, he'd be free to start his own life. But what kind of life would it be without May? How could he ever be happy again? It was so different without her as part of his dream. Darby walked the 120 miles to Scranton. It was an enjoyable journey, beautiful rolling hills by day, star-filled nights in the darkness. He slept along the road where many others had traveled ahead of him. He had little food left from his transatlantic crossing, mainly flatbread and butter. He had been lucky and sold his trunk in New York, but the money would not last. He wasn't sure where he was going except Scranton. O'Henry had an address in the packet that contained passage on the ship, but Darby had no idea where that was other than Scranton. He figured when he arrived, someone would help him. It was pretty amazing. Darby thought that a man he had never met trusted him to travel all the way from Ireland and show up for 3 years' labor. But as it happened, there were others on the same road with similar papers, indentured servants willing to work to get to America. When Darby arrived in Scranton, he did not find it difficult to locate Master Henry. It seemed that Henry and Sons was a well-known construction firm, and hundreds of Irish were in his employ. Darby never did meet Master Henry or any of his sons. He was simply registered and given instructions where he would sleep the night. The next day, he'd be shipped out on the railroad, where he would find himself to be a railroad worker. How do you say that fast 5 times? From farm to railroad, thought Darby. This America is already looking to be the land of opportunity. By day, Darby handled huge timbers. There were 2 men on each railroad tie, placed on the ground one after the other. Steel rails dropped in place by 20 men, pounded in place with sledgehammers. By night, he slept in a camp with 100 other men. Food served, fires built, conversations and dreams shared openly. It was a good life for Darby, and the 3 years passed quickly. He longed for May, but there wasn't anything he could do but put his mind into his work. It was a great day when he was handed his release from O'Henry and Sons and offered a job. He was free to go, but he was welcome to stay. But now, instead of just food, he would be offered wages as well. So Darby stayed. There ends chapter 6, book 1, Look for Me. Your thoughts, Devin, on this 1,000? So just so you understand what happened in the beginning, Darby set off from Ireland after the Great War. He set off for America to find opportunity for him and his fiance, or his lover, May. He thought that he was going to leave her behind, but as it turned out, she stuck on the ship and ended up with him. But she ended up getting dysentery and sickness from the sea, from not eating well, being malnourished and everything, and ended up dying. So he ends up going to America without her, arriving in America without her. Now he's starting out his life there without her. So that's where the story ends for today. It's been a long chapter. It's a long discussion today. We talked about great things. Do you have any closing statements or arguments before you leave, Devin? Do you have anything to close? Any closing statements or anything before you take off, Dev?
What's the name of that book called?
Okay, so the series is Look for Me, I Will Find You. You heard me talk about this. This is the book series that was written by a very good friend of mine, author, that we're trying to make a movie. I'm trying to get this book sold on Amazon. I'm working on that as we speak. I don't want to speak too soon and it doesn't happen, and then I look like a freaking heel. So it's called Look for Me, I Will Find You. I have season 1 and 2. I was almost completed with season 1, and I ended up rereading it again because I want to share these amazing books with everybody. It's a terrific 1,000-year love story. I think Hannah would love it. I think you would love it.
Yeah,
I'm more amazed how guys love it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't read a lot of books, and if I do read a book, it's in my master's level. So, but my girlfriend, she reads books like crackheads do crack. So I'm sure that she would love it.
She would have you read these books.
Yeah, I'll tell her about it and stuff. It's called Look for Me, I'll Find You.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Mo, do you have the book set? Hold up, it's a gift box set.
Yeah. So
there's 2 seasons that are available. Just hold those up.
This is season 1. See, this is season 1, and this is the book. This is the books in there. Can you see that? So I have 2, 3, and 4 in there because I've just held up book 1 that I read, and then this is season 2. Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Season 2. Oh, I'm holding it upside down. Sorry. Season 2. See? Yeah. And we happen to know this beautiful model in this book. This is JoJo, who's on. She's actually on Instagram. Hey, JoJo. Look at your beautiful face, JoJo. Michael's on here earlier, her husband. So yeah, so we hire, by the way.
So those book sets, they're like a gift box.
Yeah.
Okay. And the idea, they're autographed by the author, and the idea is to make perfect gifts for ladies that you're involved with. Because it really is a dramatic love story. But guys are loving it too.
Yeah.
And
so there's war, there's life shit, there's man shit, there's life shit. It really relates to life and how things happen. Go ahead, Doug.
There's a total of 12 books in the series now. Only those 2 are available right now. That's 8 books. And for a gift box set, they're $50. And everybody each podcast gets $10 for everyone that's sold. So, it's a great way to help out Mo and also to give a really nice gift to your to whoever's close to you.
And the money is going to go towards shooting the Creep Tale series that you see Mr. Guest here wearing, the T-shirt and the hat. The Creep Tales is like the Tales from the Crypt type of little short stories, little horror short stories. And Team Footage has been nominated to shoot these films, and so I look forward to moving in that. And of course, we're going to be looking for actors and stuff that are wanting to kind of expand their portfolios, unless we get some sponsoring, stuff like that. So we got we got Devin White in the building. He's joined us. He's given us his input on everything. It was a fantastic discussion. It went much longer than I anticipated because we needed to read the book, but it was meant to be had. I was glad we had it. And if anybody wants to get on here and debate me on anything, feel free. I'll listen. I'm not going to argue with you. I'll hear your side of the story and I'll tell you mine, and then we keep it moving because this is the platform where everybody eats. And oh yeah, we're going to talk about it. So there it is.
There you go.
There it is.
He's a Rudolph.
Yeah,
the red hat reindeer.
That definitely makes you a white guy. There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, yeah.
It ain't nothing like a rack over the mantle.
Now, if I see a Trump,
I love that. If I
see a Trump bumper sticker in the background, I'm going to get worried.
Right?
No, you ain't got to worry about that. Yeah, listen, and it's probably going to make some people upset, but I've never voted since I've been 18, and I know people are going to say, "Oh, how can you expect to make the change?" It's like I don't. I expect to educate people. I said, if there's ever a day that we can elect someone who actually works a 9-to-5 job, then I'd be like, okay, like this, like I know this guy, like, you know what I'm saying, like he worked with AutoZone, you know what I'm saying, with me back in the day, like I'd be like, okay, and he got rich off of whatever he did. I understand that.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't even get to have a chance of who gets elected all the way up to that. Like Joe Biden's. Hold on, I'm not gonna do this. Let me stop myself. Joe Biden has been in the White House for over my lifetime. Okay, I didn't put him there. Somebody else did. It was. Well, I gotta stop. Mo, stop me, please.
Hey, this is everybody. I just said.
Oh gosh, matter of fact, that 2/3 that we talked about, he's the reason why we in there in the first place. that's like voting for the slave master and then getting mad that we get a whip.
Real quick, are you gonna answer your door?
Is that
you might want to pull out that 30-06 you got, bro.
Remember how I told you about my white gun? Remember I told you my white gun? It's still wrapped in black ammo. No, just in case.
That's
Hold on,
nice.
you want to hear the sound of it? It goes, hold on.
Let's hear it.
Hold on, wait a second. The shotgun. Let me get it right. Hold on. Now it wants to be shy.
Yeah.
Of course it wants to be shy now.
Of course it does. That's a sweet rifle, though. What is it, Remington?
It's a Stoeger.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's got a pretty nice kick on that.
There it goes. I was like,
it is. Mm-hmm.
So you know, if they really wanted to know, and it's got a camera on here, too, I can record everything.
Yeah.
So in case they want to act silly. So
yeah.
That's just for my ducks, though.
Right.
But anyway, so yeah.
Yeah.
No, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Hey, man, you actually raised the question and answered it yourself. No, I'm saying, hey, the thing about it is what we're doing is we're voting for a stirred pot of soup. It's alphabet soup, and whoever's alphabet comes up out of that soup, that's who gets to be president. We're not mixing anything new in there. It's just a whole can of the same old shit. That's why the people that are our presidents are all 70 and 80 and 90. What the fuck is that? Yeah, so you're gonna govern this great nation for 2 weeks and then die on.
Well, look at
Queen Elizabeth governed England for 6 generations.
Look at JFK. That guy was young and vibrant and had great ideas. And what they do to him?
He was down with black. He was down with black. They weren't having that. Sorry, you can't be.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Joe wasn't down with us.
Yeah, Joe ain't down.
I don't care what his stories say.
He's too busy smelling 8-year-old hair.
Oh my Lord.
Fucking pervert. Fucking pervert. You don't get locked up, you get to go to jail. I mean, you don't get locked up, you get to be president.
Yeah. I just want to know what a millionaire can do for me. And why does my opinion matter to a millionaire?
I don't mind that they're a millionaire. What I do mind is you're a millionaire that's never struggled a day in your life. And now you're trying to tell me about my struggles. That's the problem.
Ooh,
I don't like people always talking about those are the people that read off the statistics about why black lives are what they are in the hood. You never experienced the hood and you never went in there and did you go in there and actually do the survey? Did you go in there and talk to those people? Did you ask the questions? No, you didn't. You're just going to read off somebody else's statistics based on this and based on that. You have no idea the root reason why things are what they are in the black community. You don't get to speak on the black community. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you could say that it ain't good. You can have an opinion about black on black crime. Yeah, it ain't good. We don't like black on black crime. Are you asking us? Is that a question? Or are you sitting there trying to tell us about ourselves to try to what? What's the point of saying the statistics? You're boosting your ego, Mr. Intelligent. You're trying to come off intelligent, Mr. Know-it-all. And that's what my problem is with Shapiro. I like a lot of his points, but the way he comes off pompous, like he's Mr. Know-it-all. Because you could read off stats that you're keeping, a score that your boys We're not keeping those stats. We're not reading the stats of who's this. And of course, who's the team that ends up looking the best.
Yeah. My favorite of them is when they ask a black person that's really not educated in the topic of the conversation, and then it makes them look like an idiot. Like I can't wait to do that stuff because I act dumb like I do. I'm like, so how does that work? You know, and then as soon as I get to it, I can speak. I'm like, okay, so let me tell you something. You've been sitting there talking this whole time. Let me educate you, okay?
Okay.
But you know, it's never people like me. It's always some guy or some girl that has no idea what the heck they're talking about, and then it makes us look like we're just idiots.
And you make them look like a fucking bumbling idiot, and you look good.
Yeah.
And all you've done was you didn't prove a point except this. You proved that you were a pompous, egotistical fool standing up there trying to look like you're Mr. Know-it-all, trying to berate and belittle a group of people that you don't know nothing about. You don't know nothing about the black community. You barely have yourself figured out as the Jew that you are, Shapiro. And I don't hate you. This is speaking out of love. But I'm a little, little peeved at you because I don't like how you're making the rest of us look. You can't speak on black people as a whole based on the statistics of some the other morons that are the minuscule, the minority in our group. Don't do that. I hate when people fucking do that. Don't speak for the masses. You know, look at one of my best friends sitting in the middle panel here with a creep tail shirt on. I'm sorry. What does he look like? Have you can't get no whiter than Doug. I love that guy to skin and bones. I love that guy to death. You're gonna have problems about Doug Kirk because we serious about Doug Kirk around here. I'm Doug Kirk. Well, no, the Doug Kirk is the short German old guy. I'm Doug Kirk. Doug, yeah, can I help you? No, we're looking for the other. Can I help you? You're gonna have a problem because I'm.
The chart says he's a Caucasian male, 5'2". Sir, you're a little bit. You're more on the 6 foot darker.
Is that what that is?
Hold on, you're black.
I'm from the southern mountainous regions of the Caucasus Mountains.
The part that don't get no sunlight.
yeah, you know what I'm saying, or the part that get too much sunlight. You know what I'm saying? That's why exactly. It was cooler weather's up there. I'm from the southern regions of the Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah, you wasn't that privileged to get up in the shade, huh?
Hey, you can't talk
out of control.
You can't talk to well, hey, we had better be, because I tell you what, you come in here, you can't talk to Doug Kirk in the hood. But he's a white guy. We just came to claim the body. Nah, Doug Kirk's fine. He's eating his chicken and watermelon in the back. Can we help you? Y'all are laughing, but I'm really serious with it.
No, I understand.
Hey, look at Unc. Unc is on here too. Unc, boy, you gonna have some problems fucking with Unc, but Unc's white. Unc don't know he's white. That's the problem. Unc gonna be like, who you calling white? Unfortunately, Unc's white, but he gonna kick your ass. Who you calling white? He's like Dave Chappelle in reverse. We got niggas in here. Where? You know what I'm saying? Now, Unc will kick your ass. Who you calling? That's offensive. No, we don't have white boys with us. Doug Kirk isn't my white friend. Doug Kirk is my dear friend. You see, you weren't listening.
It goes both ways, Mo.
Exactly.
It goes both ways.
Exactly. Unc is Unc is family. That's why we call him Unc. Unc is family. Unc been riding with me since season 2 of Everybody Eats. Devin, you know.
Yeah.
That's family.
I went hunting with Unc, but we had fun up there too.
Yeah,
we were tearing it up.
We went hunting and fishing. I'm still supposed to be going to Town Lake to fish with him. We need to do that for real. But the thing is you're gonna have some problems to seeing about Unc if we got anything to do with it. I'm sorry. And we're looking for Richard Crowd. First of all, we don't call Richard Crowd out here. He's called Unc around here. That's how we know you ain't from around here. And secondly, if you don't get back in your truck and get the hell on out of here, you're gonna have a lot more to worry about than Richard Crowd you looking for. And we don't even say for, we say for with the A-F-A than what you're looking for.
Yeah. You know how to go? I was the pappy of that boy.
I the pappy.
I was the pappy.
Mo,
yes, sir.
Mo, this is completely off the subject, but for some reason I just thought of it with you saying that. Recount the story when you and I were shooting pictures at the river, the Guadalupe River, at 1:30 at night. We got all done. The water was cold. And this guy drove up in this old beat up car.
We don't want to talk about that.
And he told us, hey, we got a better place to take pictures. It's pitch dark. Pick up the story there.
Black. But he was telling the truth. He wasn't lying. It was a hidden lake way in the sticks. And I was the only black one there.
That sounds like my hunting trips.
Whoa. But that ain't the part. Yeah, I had every reason to be worried. But when Doug was worried, now we worried. Doug is worried. We
don't need to shoot this video over here. We need to take it back down there.
You know what's funny is he talked us into taking us down the river on this road that just it was ruts and grown up grass and stuff. So
you couldn't even drive the car. We had to leave the cars and walk down. It was marshy and wet too, swampy. Remember?
We get there and it's totally dark. Black. And he says, "See the river over there? That's a lot more attractive than where you were shooting." And we were thinking, we're gonna be axe murdered here. They're gonna read about us.
We couldn't see the river. That was the thing about it. We couldn't see the river. And then you get around the corner and get down. Then you had the moonlight that was kind of glimmering off. Then we saw the river, and it was lovely. But he could have killed us. And there was nothing. We were shooting, but we wasn't shooting the right thing. You don't shoot cameras in that scenario.
Mo, Mo's over here singing "Wade in the Water."
Oh Lord, yeah.
I kept looking behind me to make sure Mo was still with me.
You wait, I'm looking for you. Where you at? And then there's what's her name?
You ain't got listen. You ain't got to worry about Mo. Listen, you ain't got to worry.
Hey.
Mo got. We have 6 cents. We have 7.
Trust me. I tell you what, Dave, you're done. You do well to keep your eye on me. Because if I take off and you're not next to me, well,
I said, I'm speaking to you.
I speak for you. Yeah, I'll pay for the funeral. I'll pay for the funeral. But I'll tell you what, Doug, you're going to be amazed at how fast I am. When was the last time you ran track? 93. 92 was a long time ago. Mo, you still got
Oh, man.
You're still in shape. You're 50 years old. You're still running like you're in 11th grade in 91.
Let me tell you.
There wasn't enough moonlight to even cast a shadow, but I was worried that I'd turn around and all I would see of Mo was a shadow.
That's it.
Look,
if I grab your shirt, just let me grab you and drag you along. You'll thank me later. Because you ain't running faster than me, bro. And that dude ain't catching us. We see some leather-faced motherfucker sitting there. Now you hear some weird ripping in the wood.
You ain't got to worry about Mo.
I don't even.
I ain't telling the stories, Mo. I ain't telling the story.
Devin White, you got to go. So that's it for tonight, folks, man. Y'all been great, man. We tune in next time every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Devin White has been Devin White. I swear I'm gonna call Mama. I'm calling Mama.
I'm gonna have to tell you the story next time, Doug.
I'm calling Mama. Man. I'm gonna call Mama, Devin. If you don't get up out of here, you said you had to eat and take shower and shit and do other stuff. Your son is like, he's not reading me like that. Your son is mentally abused right now by you ignoring him right now.
Okay.
Being on here.
I'm good. Just Doug, let me tell you something. You ain't got to worry about Mo. You ain't got to worry about that one. If you turn around and he gone,
I will hug you and blend into the shadows, into the trees, and let them run past us, bro. I know.
Doug, the last thing you're gonna hear, Doug, is we are all gathered here today. We're gonna be carrying the casket in. They're gonna be asking witnesses. So, Modeja, tell us what happened. Weren't you with him? I was, but I was out. I was gone.
I didn't know he was 60. He didn't tell me he was 60. I said, let's go. I turned back. He wasn't there. I thought
I said, meet me at mile marker 60. I know what you're talking about. I said, let's go. If I blink 3 times, Doug, I'm out, okay? That's all you need to know, bro. I'm out, okay? I'm out.
You ain't no good. You ain't no damn good, Devin White. I promise you, bro. You may not be talking about no special fishing trip that we was on either, bro. I swear to God, Devin. I swear to God, we family, ain't it?
Yeah.
I know your mama and your daddy, bro. I know your nieces and nephews, bro. We practically family, bro.
Doug, I'm telling you, you ain't got to worry. Y'all, if you go out somewhere, Mo. What's that?
One of many stories.
Yes.
Tell him I love him too.
He heard you.
Oh yeah. We'll have to make a special to talk about our stories because we got some good ones.
Listen, let's just say I don't do snakes very well. That's all I'm going to say about that. All the muscles I have on my body, when it comes to human on human interaction, I'm all good, man. I'm all for it. But when it comes to reptile on human action, I don't do it. I don't do well with reptile. I don't get along well with others. When it comes to creatures, bro, I don't like the sneaky bastards, and they always do. I know, especially the water. They always sit in their head, pop up out of water like this, like they playing peekaboo with you. I'm not playing with you. Get your fucking ass up out of here, Cottonmouth. Go drink some water, Cottonmouth, motherfucker.
This happened years ago, Doug, and it's still funny.
Huh?
We were walking along the trail in the high grass. Telling how many snakes were out there.
I promise you, it was Doug. That was nothing but God. Again, there you go, proving God exists right there, Doug. That was the topic of today in the very beginning until we got off the other subjects. We just proved God exists. Oh, there's nothing but Cottonmouth back in there. Then we was in the swamps. They had, I'm telling you, there was quicksand back there. They had places to bury us. We would have. Doug, did you see
So,
the place
Doug, there
we
was
went through to get there?
Whew,
We had
there
to
was
park the
snakes
car
there.
and we had to park the car and walk further down to get the way. Oh, yeah, we'd come and they would have stripped our cars and got everything they needed. Oh, they made a
Doug,
good.
Doug, there was snakes there.
Oh,
We
of
didn't even
course.
know this guy.
No.
Doug, that's the reason. So, Doug, when Mo, there's a level of Mo's like fear level, right? So it's like, the clan is probably up there on top. The snakes are like a real second close. So he wasn't really worried about the snakes at this point because he know he can't run on water.
Yeah. Oh, I've come close, man. Yeah, I'll put it this way. I gave Jesus a run for his money. Jesus
Did you see that, God?
Jesus was like, not bad.
Did you
Jesus
see
was
that?
Not bad at all. I'm telling you, Jesus see me run from snakes. I got across the water. He was like, not bad at all, bro. That was pretty good. I'm telling you, Jesus gave me high five. He's giving me good praise. He's like, yeah, that guy, one guy gave me a run for my money. That guy, Mo, put a snake.
He gonna ask God. He gonna ask God and say, "We did make him in our image, right?"
Oh yeah, transatlantic. What was it? The transatlantic crossing back in history. How we got from Africa to these they put a snake. They put a snake in my ancestors, and those motherfuckers ran across the Atlantic Ocean and got here.
Oh God, bless America.
And the ones that didn't make it were Crucian Islanders from the Virgin Islands. The ones that didn't make it were Jamaicans and Haitians.
Oh.
Those are the other ancestors that didn't make it. They got tired and quit. And that's why we have Trinidadians and shit today. But the rest of us made it to America. Some of us are still running. There's still land that they haven't even discovered that they're still running to find. Seven, I'm tired of you, bro. Leave me alone, man. If you don't get up out of here, bro. And you got somebody to take care of, huh? You need me, man.
I'm good. All right. I'm done. Yeah. Boy.
I'll say good times though. But I was mad, but I laughed my ass off with Devin.
I'm telling you.
He swore he'd never tell.
I did not swear I'd never tell. I got stories to tell you.
He swore he would never tell. He even said, "On my mama." I'd never tell. Let me call Miss. Let me call Miss Sharon. Let me call Miss Sharon D. See what she got to say about all this.
Oh boy,
Evan don't keep his promises, Miss Sharon D. How we gonna handle? What we gonna do about that?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, he stayed on. He said he had to go. He had kids to raise and everything. He had to feed his kid. His kid went to bed hungry tonight. Y'all been a great audience.
Oh man. Yes.
Let me play my Instagram back. Hey, and I'm back. Here we go. Yeah, I had to have y'all face the TV so y'all can see who I was interacting with because I don't have stuff like that. I'm working on it though. But I just want to say thank everybody that joined me on the Instagram and everywhere, man. I'm worldwide in this. I love y'all, man. This has been a great thing. We read the book. We talked more about some other stuff, but I just had some stuff to get off my chest. And from time to time, I might do that because, like, seriously, my whole question to the world is, what the fuck are we arguing about? What are we still talking about? We're still talking about this shit. We're still trying to figure out what color God is. Like, what good does that? I mean, seriously, like, what's it gonna do for us?
What happens when you find out?
Yeah, well, when you find out, you're gonna be busy being judged by him to worry about anything. I think the last thing you're gonna worry about what color. Oh, snap your hair, wool. Man, Bob Marley was right. Jesus was Rastafari. It's too late. You're not gonna live to talk about that. Nobody down here gonna know about that. What was he saying when he died? Mo was saying something when he died. What was he saying? I couldn't make out the whispering. He was whispering, mumbling something with his eyes open. But he saw something. It's too late. I discovered that Jesus was Rastafari, but nobody else heard it. They saw my mouth do this when I passed away. It's too late. It's not doing anything. Why are we discussing that? I want to know why there's a threat of people poisoning food. Why is that a problem for us? Why are they buying up all the land and agriculture land and stuff like? What's that about? What are they doing? Like, these are the things that concern me. Like, why are you really trying to fuck with us? If there is supposed to be some new world order, why? Why do we need a new world order? Why can't England be England? America be America, red, yellow, black, and white. The rainbow is the rainbow for a reason, because we like colors. We like difference. We like variety. I like Jamaican food. I like Spanish food, Puerto Rican food. I like Dominican food. I like, I don't know, French cuisine. I like Filipino food. Whatever. Isn't that what makes an exotic dish something that's outside of your own? Our dishes are exotic to people that are foreign to us. Isn't that what makes the world beautiful?
Yeah.
If everything was a chocolate M&M, which kind of ironically they are, but we're disguised by the colors, blue in it, but it's still all chocolate. But the colors make them interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So why are we trying to do away with it and make it all one thing? Why is it? It's so it used to be one nation under God. Now it's one world order, and God has nothing to do with it. That's a little concerning to me.
Yes, yes.
And who's writing the statistics on that? I'm still waiting.
Hey Mo, there's
Yeah.
one other thing you got to do. It's
What's that?
tradition.
What's
Go to
that?
the next chapter, read the first sentence.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that before we go. Let's do that. See, Devin want to tell stories about folk, man. Have folk look.
I ain't say nothing. I just said they ain't got to worry about you.
What about the snake that almost got your ass and you damn near like to compromise my damn weed market trying to get his ass between them two rocks over there? We don't talk about that story though. Yeah.
We can talk about it. You want to talk about back to back?
Shut up, Devin. Chapter 7. And we were so worried about snakes, or I was, that we weren't even worried. We had leeches sucking the life out of us. Remember we had to pull the baby leeches off us? Chapter 7, 1871, Pennsylvania. Somehow, another 17 years had passed. The Civil War came and went. Lincoln was shot and the country mourned and then rebuilt. That's chapter 7. Tune in next time on Storytime Tuesdays with your man Mo Day, Mr. Guest, and hopefully Devin White can join us again. It was a pleasure having him. Everybody that was in here, man, it was a pleasure. And I left y'all with a question. Who is writing the stats on this whole supposed new world order thing? Why is that happening? The only thing y'all are doing is, and here I'm going to leave y'all with this. I always used to tell people that God's greatest lesson was irony. What do I mean? I'm glad you asked. Racist people end up with the race that they despise in their family, one way or the other. You end up the grandparents of these mixed breed, or you hate gays, and so your children become gay. I think God does that on purpose because you're not supposed to hate anything, even if he doesn't like it. I told you not to hate. I told you to love, right?
Yeah.
And so you hate a thing, and so I put that thing as a test in your life, and you have to find a way out of it. That's why God allows innocent people to die, because it's a test. If you don't like innocent people dying, here's something for you in my Sam Kinison voice. Stop killing them! Stop fucking killing the innocents! Stop killing them! Ah! What do I mean? God didn't kill the innocent person. You did. And you want to ask why God let it happen. God didn't let it happen. The person who pulled the trigger let it happen. You couldn't let that innocent child very well left the fuck alone with his or her family. You had to kidnap that child, molest them, do whatever, and then you killed them because you couldn't live with them talking and snitching on you about it. The potential you might get away with it. That's why that happens. That's how that happens. Back to the irony. Glad you asked. The more you do this new world order bullshit that you're trying to pull off, the more you genetically engineer mankind, the shit you're trying to pull off with clones and all this bullshit, the more you are proving God's word, the Bible, the thing that you think is bullshit and man-made. And now back to the topic at hand. See how things come around? You have just proven how we know God exists.
I'm going to say this and then I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to leave it. It's my 2 cents I'm going to leave you with. So for those that don't know me, you guys could check me out Facebook under Changing the World Starts With You. Me and Mo made this platform. God, Mo, what, 10 years ago?
More than that, right? 20, I don't know. 20, well, yeah, I guess so, but 2011, no, 2012.
Yeah.
2012.
So about 10 years ago and stuff. And we talk about stuff like this. It's about, I know it has. I haven't been up here in Kentucky for that almost that long. But anyway, so The thing is that we get on there to have these discussions like this too as well. You know, I don't really do that as much now because we have everybody eats and stuff like that. But that's what
Yeah.
we were using at first was, you know, changing the world starts with you or whatever. You know, talking about real world situations. You know, and I was
Yep.
always the one that said, if you don't know, then ask. Like
Yeah.
I can never have a white person's perspective because I'm not white.
No
A
way.
white person never have my perspective because he's not black or brown or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, we have
But
statistics.
we have statistics. That's right. But you know, so it's like in order for me to understand my brother, because I am my brother's keeper, which brother does not just mean black; it means all colors. I
Yes.
have to understand what he's going through. I can't be so ignorant to say, "Oh, he's white. He's just privileged. He don't understand what it's like." Because none of white people are privileged. They may have some privilege, but I mean they have all the privileges. You know what I'm saying? So in order for me to understand him, I must ask him what he needs help because I'm his keeper. A good keeper is going to ask you what you need help with. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So anyway, changing the world starts with you. If you guys want to check it out, if you do, I do some live every now and then, not very often. When Mo, when I get pissed off at something, I got to get on there and vent. But I want to leave you guys with this. Where science ends, God begins. So remember that, okay? Because they can't always prove it. Once they stop proving it with man-made stuff, like, oh yeah, we evolved from monkeys, or we evolved from atoms. Where do them atoms come from? Well, they've been here.
Yeah.
Well, how you know they've been here? Who put them here? Well, they just been here.
Well, I'm going to elaborate on what you're saying. When science ends, that's not where God begins. Where science ends is where they found God. That's where God has always been. And what I like about changing the world starts with you is what I like is that's your version of, if there's a problem, it's not enough to complain about it. What are you going to do about it? That's what changing the world starts with you. But see, that also means that people have to be responsible for something. Well, there's the argument, isn't it? Nobody wants to be responsible. They want to argue and they want to complain, but they don't want to do shit about it. And so, yeah. And that's what it is. The more you try to disprove God, the more God ends up in the room. Or has he always been in the room? Yeah, that's the joke. He's always been in the room. You just were trying to act like you didn't see him. You saw him. You see it. Doug Kirk, your final thoughts.
So yeah, let me just express this view. If the scientists are so damn smart, how come they can't make a flower? A flower that blooms, a flower that reproduces, a flower that creates fruit or seeds, and those seeds go and create another plant, and it goes on and on and on, and nobody has to do anything. It knows how to do
its own kind, absolutely. And
that's
just a flower without sampling something else that's already been there, without taking the DNA of one flower and then taking this of another flower and taking no, you don't get to borrow ingredients. You got to create the ingredients yourself from scratch.
And so
go ahead.
So to the scientists who are denying creation, make a flower and then get back to me. I'll talk to you about the fish, and the mice, and the buffalo, and the human beings. Just get the flower thing down first, and then come talk to us.
We'll wait. We will wait for you. We waited this long because we're still trying to wait to see how you disprove God.
Yeah, this deal is created. There's no question about it. It's not an accident. It's not evolution. Somebody sat down and said, look, I'm going to do this. And what's interesting, you look at the universe, how big it is.
Yeah.
You know darn well that God was creative, and he didn't stop when he made us.
No.
He just kept going and going and going for how many years? Millions, billions?
Because of this. We don't see any of that because of this. We get to, what did he do to that? Who was the guy? Was it Abraham or Moses? He got to sit back and look at the promised land. He didn't get to go. I think it was Moses, right? We get to see the heavens, but we can't interact. But in the beginning, when we were perfect beings, we walked to and fro the heavens and earth with God. Oh, now to look upon God is to surely die. So something's gone awry here, Doug. I think you might be onto something. Devin White and Doug, I'm gonna advise you guys, make sure you lock and bar your windows tonight. There's gonna be people trying to get after you. They don't like these conversations. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. They don't like what we're talking about. And I know I pissed off Ben Shapiro. I pissed him off. I'm happy I'm happy to piss him off because, like I said, don't sit there in all your pomposity and your education, and you're not educated at all. I mean, you're educated as far as books and concerns and stats are concerned, but you've not experienced life in the hood. And talk about white privilege. Yes, there is white privilege. All whites aren't privileged like some whites are, but if it means them over a black person, then you'll be treated better than us because they would rather have you than have us. So there's a little privilege there, but that doesn't mean all white people are privileged. They just would rather have your ass than okay. And that's what it is. So no, I don't believe that all white people are privileged. I believe that there is a privilege, but it's a privilege that's based on a hierarchy. And I think that they proved that back in the days when they invented cops. The cops are to keep the common folk in line. It was a hierarchy. But what about all the common folk? They were black and they were Asians and they were Irish and they were German and they were this and that. And that number, remember that story, guys? And that number outweighed and outnumbered the hierarchy. Oh, we can't do that. So what they do? They pick the lesser of the white people and say, hey, listen, you guys are better than them. So you govern over them and we'll give you privilege. No, they don't like you. You're lesser than they are, but they need you to keep the rest of us at bay so they can stay up on top of Mount.
It's funny. They want to ban, all these guns and stuff, but they want the people to protect them to keep theirs. What do you think I want mine for?
Yeah. Well, it's the same. It's the same irony, when. And somebody else said it, so I'm quoting somebody else, but I love what they said. But here's the thing: it was a poem that they spoke. It was something they spoke. They rapped it, but it was crazy how they, as a veteran, I am taught. Now, remind you, in the civilian world, carrying a gun and shooting somebody is a crime, and I will do life in prison or serve some sort of death penalty or something, right? Depending on where I'm at, right? Yes, we can all agree. So why is it that I can go into the military, be trained to carry a assault rifle? Isn't that what they call those? Assault rifles. See, when it's military grade, it's assault rifles. Okay. But anyway, it's an assault rifle because the military is so special, and I'm trained to kill America's enemies, and then I'm deemed a hero for it. But I come to the hood and kill my enemies who mean me harm in self-defense. I am a criminal and I am a murderer. Help me out with that, y'all.
And you go to prison.
I go to prison.
Just remember that wars are generally fought by the elite from one organization to the other. I'm not even going to call them countries. It's the elites, and they use us as the pawns to do the dirty work.
Of course.
And that's exactly what we're doing in Ukraine. We just sent over the since February, we've sent $67 billion worth of weapons and aid to Ukraine. What the hell is that all about? I don't know anybody in Ukraine.
I'll tell you what comes out of that. What comes out of that is you had better stay friends with Ukraine for a long time. Because if Ukraine decides, you know what, Russia, you might be onto something. Now, guess what? Those weapons will be used against you in the court of law. What's that? You have the right to remain silent. We have the right to keep our fucking weapons, dummy. And then we piss somebody off, because who's your worst enemy? The person that was your best friend.
They know everything about you and everything.
You give them all your weapons. Now you piss that motherfucker off. Hey, Russia, we got a bunch of tanks that we never used in that war that we had, that little scuffle we had with each other. Bunch of aircraft, bunch of ammunitions. You need anything? Russia, you need anything, baby? Hey, boo, you need anything? Now Ukraine fucks them. Now Ukraine's in bed with Russia. They sleep together now. Fuck America. Now Ukraine is scorned and jaded.
So get this statistic. We've put $67 billion into Ukraine, but Puerto Rico was trashed by a hurricane, and all they're going to get is $60 million.
Let's get even closer to home.
Hello.
Wow. Doug, man, you are, man. Doug, lock your doors and windows tonight. I promise you, sleep under the bed tonight. You and Gracie. Listen, I'll be by in the morning to come collect you guys, pick you guys up, because they're gonna be after you. Because they're more after you, Doug. See, black people talk about they talk. That's the shit. That's the rhetoric they're on all the time. But when you, one of their own, talk like that, Doug, they're coming for you. So here's the thing: To speak to what you're saying, that the thing about it is, let's bring it closer to home. $67 billion worth of munitions and whatever, right? For a country that's not even for a fight that's not even ours and whatnot. But we can't even help people starving and on the streets cluttering. I mean, San Francisco, Skid Row, all LA, some of our
Detroit,
Philadelphia, everywhere, crack, and it's a pandemic. It's a pandemic within a pandemic. People are. Go ahead.
It's not a pandemic because it makes money.
So
sorry,
and we mentioned that earlier today. The reason
I got to lay your side out.
Why people said, why is this happening? Well, funerals cost money, right? Somebody is making billions. They know that we have a trash problem, but it's not really a trash problem. It's a trash problem for us so that we could spend money into cleaning up a trash problem that they have well in control. They could do anything they want with the trash, but they don't, because we're dumping in money to help a cause. Aren't we doing that with medication to help cure things that they already have cures for? They have the cures.
Oh, you mean like the Cancer Society that takes a whole bunch of money in, or the AIDS Society that Magic Johnson's had since the 90s, or anything like that?
He's more healthy than somebody that's had COVID that's never had AIDS. But Eazy-E, N-word from the hood that we don't no longer need around. Killing Eazy-E was a strategy. AIDS didn't kill him. Eazy-E was gaining power. He was like he did what Prince and Michael Jackson did. He started owning his rights and started owning shit. They didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you saw he got AIDS. He had AIDS for 2 days. On the third day, he was dead. Look it up. Eazy-E. Eazy-E didn't die from no AIDS. They killed that man. How you as powerful as Eazy-E? Magic Johnson was just a basketball player. Who gave a fuck about that? And he's had AIDS for 30 years.
What's crazy is that
and it's not traceable now.
What's crazy is that you talk about leaders and stuff like that, and you look at everybody who got killed or fought back from the police and died, and leader of the Black Panther Party movement, Huey P. Newton and stuff like that. How they, FBI just wanted to come and talk to him in the house, and then a shootout erupt. You know what I'm saying? Because this black lawyer, and then oh god, I got to get off of here.
We're gonna be here all day, but that's why we have these talks. America's losing its mind, and the people, we need to stop with this bullshit, man. They're filling us with delusions, telling us that you can pick a pronoun, identify with it, and you have that right. Yes, you have the right. You can do whatever you want to do, people, but we also have the right to say we don't want it in our face. Get the fuck out of my face. I have the right to defend myself. If you're in my face pushing your agenda down my children's throats, I am a threat to you. I'm telling you right now, I am a threat to you as a parent. I don't want your ideologies or your ideals on my children's conscience. I don't want them to be worried about that. My 16-year-old daughter has enough shit dealing with school stuff and being a teenager than worried about your bullshit. My 9-year-old son is too busy being a kid to be worried about what he needs to tolerate and this and that, or identify with. How about he's a 9-year-old boy and that's good enough for him? And he's okay with that. Now shut the fuck up with your ideals and delusions and go sit down somewhere and play with your boy pussy. I don't give a fuck what. Seriously, man, like this is the same shit we started out the argument done earlier, right? Who gives a fuck if the earth is flat? Who gives a fuck if the earth is round? All it does is they discovering ice and water above the earth, and then they're discovering ice underneath the earth. Well, the Bible speaks of water separating the firmament. The firmament. I want to say fermentation. I don't know what's happening with me, but the firmament from the heavens and the skies and this and that. Okay, all you're doing again is you're proving something that you're trying to say is man-made and full of shit to be true. Sounds like we're proving God's existence again. Guys, come on. I'm gonna leave that you guys' argument. I don't give a shit. I just want to be like that dream I had when I was 22 years old. God was there the whole time. They only discovered him at the end. Devin, you remember that story? I think, Doug, I told you that story.
Yeah.
It was a Friday. So those of y'all don't know the story, it was a Friday. I'm gonna be real quick about it, and then Devin's got to go. And we all got to go. It was a Friday, homecoming game. I'm in high school. I'm 22 years old, dreaming back in high school. We're hoop line, everybody high-fiving. Yeah, we're gonna turn up at the game. In high school, I was the guy that threw the parties. Anybody know Sharif? I always threw the parties at my apartment. I didn't have parents and family to worry about, so I just kind of did what I wanted. My dad was there, but he wasn't there. Anyway, long story short, we're gonna throw a fatty party. We're gonna turn up. Homecoming, after school party, blah blah blah. Long story short, it's the end of school. I get back on the bus. Everybody's quiet. Everybody's well kept and well behaved. I'm on the trying to high five everybody. I'm up there loud. Yo, man, what's up? We going on that? Everybody's sitting there like this. They're like, and they're hitting to the bus driver. They're doing like that. And so I stop and I turn back to look at the bus driver, and I look at confusion. I had confusion on my face. And I looked at everybody and I was like, and I looked back at the bus driver again, and I looked at everybody and I go, don't change now. I always knew who that was. The bus driver was God. So what the dream was teaching me is if you stay right with God, it doesn't matter if the world fucking ends. What matters is if you stay right with God, that you've done your part to try to save as many souls as you can, to bring as many children back home to the Father, to heaven, to be in paradise, to be in a better world. That's the mission. If you're worried about, you're that kid that threw the party and people broke your parents' expensive china and shit, you were the kid. The brother said, don't do it. He stayed in his room. So when mom and dad came home, he wasn't worried about shit. You are. So don't come to me and be like, hey, man, Mo, help me out. Nah, bro. I told you don't throw that fucking party. Now mom and dad are coming home. It's your ass. So when God comes to collect, it's your ass. That's what the dream taught me. I ain't worried about all this shit these people talk about. All this shit when people losing their mind, men becoming women, women becoming men, mothers turn against their sons and fathers, and daughters. This shit, sickness and pestilence, all this shit is called the book of Revelations. You heard of it?
Yeah.
All you're doing is proving the word of God. Well, how can you have the word without the source? So there's your answer for the argument. God exists. Mic drop. Smart. That was not smart. That's gonna be a meme. I love you guys, man. No bullshit. Yes, go ahead, Doug.
It was good. Thank you very, very much.
I love y'all. No funny. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. When I tell you I love you, it ain't on no bullshit, man. It ain't on funny stuff. It means I see you. I recognize your hustle, your struggle. Remember, it takes one to know one. Keep God in the center of everything, and everybody eats. I love y'all. We'll see y'all next Tuesday. Devin, Mr. Guest, everybody in La La Land, everybody tuned in. I love y'all, man. We'll see y'all 7 o'clock next Tuesday, chapter 7. Love story. I promise we'll stick with the story this time. All right. But thanks for the talk. We'll see y'all, man. Love y'all. Bye.